understand there was a meeting or walkthrough between Dr. Silvernail and ECU officials last week. What was the purpose of that meeting or walkthrough, and who asked for it?
Yeah, so the game day experience is something that we're thinking about, and for us to portray the capacity of that facility, the stadium, and for us to illustrate what a private box looks like, we thought it would be much better if Dr. Silvernail could experience that, could see it for himself, and perhaps make some suggestions on how we could accommodate the folks. We still have not come to a final determination on that first game day attendance. I've indicated earlier that it'll be highly limited for sure, and that as we get comfortable, I think we all hope that we can scale up and have plenty of fans in the stadium by the time the season ends.
Troy, I haven't been confident about fans being in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium for a long time now, but I'll say it is good to know that they are doing everything they can, they being, ECU and everybody involved, of if fans are allowed, okay, what can we do then at that point? It sounds like they are crossing the T's, dotting the I's on everything fan-related.
And I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all for the entire season, Clip. We're talking to ECU officials. The way things start in September could be very different in November. So let's say things get better. Even if there is, you heard him say, very limited fans right now. Could be no fans potentially. I think went on, and we may hear from him again. I went on to ask him when the decision's going to be made. We'll hear his answer coming up in just a minute. But it is a staggered thing. It could be that they adjust it as the season goes on. So with the way things start, with no fans, they may be able to go to single game tickets perhaps as the season progresses if things get better. So,
and we've seen that, and again, this is Korea, not the United States, but remember the KBO came out. It was the only sports on TV.
Yep.
Their baseball league, they played without fans for a while, and then fans started being integrated into games. NASCAR is doing a state-by-state deal where some places have fans, some don't, but we could kind of see the same with ECU that, okay, maybe fans aren't allowed in September. That doesn't necessarily write off, October.
Yeah, but the bottom line is we're about 2 weeks out from kickoff right now. The new kickoff date was September 12th, and that doesn't mean that can't be fluid too, but that's what's on the books right now. And I think at some point they're going to have to come out at least for that game and say, look, here's the situation with the fans. Now, priority one is getting the team back on the field.
Right.
We're going to have John Gilbert on Thursday's program in the 5 o'clock hour for this and talk about it. Hopefully by then, maybe the practices will have resumed. So I know, talking to a lot of folks, that they are trying to get football back on the field itself. Forget the fans. We're talking about the football team.
We're covering a lot of things. So priority number one's got to be the team back on the practice field before we talk about fans.
I feel that's two different stories.
Yeah.
You've got one story, the team's got to get there first. There's no point of worrying about the fans if the team can't practice and play.
Yeah.
I feel that's going to be hopefully imminent, and I think they're going to make a decision on that. Who knows? Could come today. I mean, there's no, this thing's very fluid, but definitely by the time we talk to John Gilbert on the program, hopefully things have kicked back in, or they have a kickback in date for that. Then I think they're going to have to let people know, hey, look, this is what the situation is as far as fans are concerned, or this isn't what the situation is.
And you asked about that as well earlier today to Ron Mitchelson.
You made the announcement Sunday that there'll be no tailgating on campus.
On
ECU campus.
Yeah.
Is there a deadline when you'd like to make an announcement whether the rank and file fans could attend a game?
It's got to be pretty soon, doesn't it? I mean, it's. I would say we're probably looking at something by the end of the week.
All right, Ron Mitchelson answering your question with a question for you, Troy D. It's got to be soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree with him. And he did say by the end of the week, and I think that's the first kind of word we've had. Okay, well, we're going to hear by the end of the week. And that's what I do appreciate about Ron Mitchelson. A lot of folks, whether they're academic, whether they're in administration, or whether they're in politics, sometimes we'll dance around the question and not really answer. Ron does give you direct answers. I mean, he does answer the question and doesn't shy away from it. He took a lot of other questions about different things from some of the other news media that was there, but did not shy away from anything. So I really appreciate, once again, the transparency of the leadership that we have in place now, because we've seen what it's been like before. And oftentimes before, you wouldn't even have a chance to interview or talk to ECU leadership. So it is refreshing. They're just trying to manage it the best they can. So it sounds like you're going to have a decision coming up soon about ECU football kicking back in hopefully soon. And then by the weekend, it sounds like they're going to have some type of an announcement whether fans would be able to attend. And I will say this, I find it unlikely, Clip, that fans are going to be at the game. Now, the one caveat to that, and we discussed this, is the Town Bank Tower. That technically is a private area with the suites in the club level. Part of the reason they had Dr. John Silvernail take a tour was to see. Now, this guy lives in health, infectious disease world. I mean, he's not necessarily an ECU sports fan, so this was his first time ever actually seeing the facility in person. So they wanted him to see what the facility was, Town Bank Tower. Dr. Silvernail also said he was able to offer ECU some guidance, pitfalls, things to look out for. I think
it's nice to have an unbiased look at it.
Yeah,
right?
and like how to handle things with even just with fans coming in the gates and that type of stuff that you'd never think about before. Before it was security and how quick can people get in games. Now it's, hey, how do you space people out as they come into games?
And then once they get in there, then what?
Yeah, it used to be at Target where you just line up, it wouldn't matter. Now you got to be 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
So all these things have kind of changed with this deal. But they did want to show him up close. Hey, here's what the suites are like. Here's what the club level's like. In the event they can't have fans in the stands, can they open up Town Bank Tower to, honestly, the big money donors, the people that have helped to build that thing? And I know there's a lot of debt on it, but there's a lot of people that have chipped in and that have the rights to suites during the game and also club level. Those folks, if they deem those as private areas and they can have a limit of 10 people or whatever it is at the time, they might be able to open up Town Bank Tower even if the rest of the stadium is closed. That is something they're looking into. Yeah. Chancellor confirmed that for us today.
So if you're buddies with someone who has the rights to one of those suites, you may want to send hey man, how's it going?
And it's not a done deal.
No, but just, check in.
But I could see them wanting to be able to provide access to them.
Maybe run an apple pie by their house or something. Or
if you are that, if you have to be in person. If not, you'll be able to be at home and relax and watch it on TV.
Sure. So, and I was going to ask your main takeaways. It sounds like it was maybe an announcement is coming regarding if fans are allowed to attend, and also the takeaway of just because there's no fans in these seats or the bleachers at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, perhaps there could be some people watching the game in person. Any other takeaways?
Because I had heard some reports that the health director down in Boone at Appalachian State actually shut down for a little while, like the App State program, that didn't like what he saw there, and they shut it down for a few days. And I heard he was involved in that. So I did want to ask him, and this was the health director here for Pitt County, what involvement does it, just logistically, does he have the power to shut down a football program? And he said he would not do that unilaterally, that would be a decision that comes from the university. Maybe he has some
He's more offering guidance.
Correct. But I don't think he could go in and say, I'm closing this down.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure, this is such a new day we're living in. And normally a health director wouldn't have any bearing when it comes to sports, especially the university. But nowadays, when it comes to an infectious disease or a pandemic situation, there's a lot of latitude there. So he does have some involvement, but did clarify that I don't think he'd come in there and shut it down like he could shut down a restaurant that was violating some type of health code.
Right.
Normally, I joked with him afterwards. I said, normally, no one even knows who you are. When's the last time you've heard of the Pitt County health director, by name?
But last time, I've never.
Right.
It would be.
He said normally when things are going good, he's like an offensive lineman. You do your job, no one knows who you are.
You get that holding penalty.
You make a fumble, you cause the snap to be messed up, then all of a sudden people know your name, things aren't going good.
And much like an offensive lineman, he probably doesn't want people to know his name,
He does not. Yeah. And normally he would not be doing press conferences like this or answering questions. Very nice guy. I did like a chance to get to talk with him. But this isn't something that was in the playbook necessarily when he took over. Ready for a pandemic in 2020. But obviously his job has changed quite a bit dealing with this versus just maintaining restaurants and how sanitary they are.
And Troy, I don't know if I've asked you the Brian North hypothetical, which is now a real situation, but did I ask you about something North, and we'll talk to him at 4, but he asked about it last week. He said if Marshall is allowed to have fans, which they are, we learned yesterday that Marshall will have fans in Huntington. If you're ECU,
with limitations, though.
Sure, yeah. We're not talking, the sellout crowd, but fans in the stands.
Yes.
Would you, if Marshall said, "Hey, man, hey East Carolina, we'll we'll split the pot with you. We'll give you a little cash. You come play this game in Huntington, and down the road, we'll make a return trip to Greenville to make up for it. Would you, if you're East Carolina, if you're John Gilbert who makes those decisions, would you be interested in something like that?
I would have to strongly consider it, especially depending on how much money is on the table. Because there is an expense in traveling.
Right.
And
you got that.
You know, and you've got the hassle, and you're losing a home game. Although you're going to potentially not have a home game atmosphere anyway.
No, that's the hypothetical part here. If you can't have any fans, but Marshall can and will offer you a little money, what do you think about that?
That'd be a tough call.
Yeah,
I'd have to seriously consider that.
It's worth of a thought.
What would you do if you're AD Clip Brock?
I would probably do. I'd talk to Mike Houston.
Yeah, Mike Houston, let me tell you, would say no way.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to. No coach I know would want to give up a home game.
I would talk to Mike Houston, but also I would get back to what you said originally. Your first thought was how much money.
Yeah, but that's why Mike Houston's a football coach and not the athletic director.
Yeah,
sometimes you got to make.
Everybody has different interests and different,
Yeah,
so.
It's a great hypothetical, though.
I like how you asked me instead of answering the question. Classic Troy D move there.
I said I'd have to strongly consider it.
Yeah, so you need more information. You need
probably a little more information
on the dollar amount.
If it was enough money, I'd do it. Yeah, I think so. And we're at a time where we need the money, so it might be hard to turn down.
And look, we've talked to how many players have we talked to in the past, Troy, that have said they like it more when there's an atmosphere, even if it's against them, than a dead atmosphere.
I agree.
Countless players have said that over the years. So the players might be into it. Again, I don't know if I think Mike Houston would rather sleep, in a comfortable place and play the game at Dowdy Ficklin.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it too, all this is projecting because if the state doesn't move out of phase 2, and I know, Shirley, you monitor what the governor says today, because I believe he's talking, or either Mandy Cohen's talking, but, I don't think they're going to make any huge change right now, although they could. I don't know. They could say we're going to go to phase 3. But that even the opportunity to change phases wouldn't be until September 11th, which is the day before the scheduled kickoff.
Which is why you keep going back to an announcement needs to be made.
Right. So my hunch is that wouldn't be made until next week, if or later before. So I don't know. I just don't see it, Clip. At least to start the season.
Either. I don't
see. I see us playing football.
I agree.
And I've mentioned this before. I think the SEC is going to play. They are playing football. I think the ACC will play because the SEC is playing. The ACC is not going to want to be on the sideline while the SEC is playing. They're trying to keep up with the SEC. If the ACC plays, the AAC plays, because now all of a sudden the AAC wants to be in the quote Power 6, wants to be one of the big boys. Here's their chance to rise up and try and be one by playing, because you've got 2 of the power conferences that are on the sideline right now. So to me, it's all in the hands of the SEC. If the SEC plays, the ACC plays, which means the AAC plays. So I do think the games will play. I don't think we'll have fans in the stands. That's just my opinion.
Igo and I were wondering, well, where's the TV schedule? Yesterday, we talked about that a lot on Pirate Radio Live, and we finally got some answers today. Memphis, in particular, going to get that nice 8 o'clock ESPN time slot on September 5th, Troy D, when they take on Arkansas State. Also, we'll get a scouting report on Marshall, because their game against Eastern Kentucky will be on ESPN September 5th at 1 o'clock.
And look, Clip, all the ESPN, CBS, all these networks need programming. And college football is their programming for the fall. And with the Big Ten and the Pac-12 that is not playing right now, that opens up a lot of time slots. So, and you guys talked about this a little bit yesterday, I believe, on the show. That is a unique opportunity for the American to step up and take some of those time slots that would normally not be available to showcase American Conference football. They can only do that if they're playing football. But what a great, there is, you can always find some bright spots in dark moments. This could be a bright spot for the conference if they can stay together and pull it off and play football.
All right, Troy, good stuff. We'll talk to you again on the program Thursday, 5 o'clock. John Gilbert going to join us.
Look forward to it, and who knows how much could change between now and then, Clip.
A whole heck of a lot, that's for sure. All right, we'll take a time out. We'll come back. Steve Roccaforte awaiting in our pristine lobby. We will welcome him in the Pirate Radio studios coming up next segment. Talk about what's going on the basketball side of things when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Let's turn convert a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience, with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips, and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
Back to school is here, and the AutoStore Group is committed to helping our customers drive the best quality pre-owned vehicles and is committed to caring about our kids and our community. This is Mary from the AutoStore Group, and right now, during our Backpack to School event, every time we sell a vehicle, we will be making a $50 donation to any local school that the customer chooses. The AutoStore Group, 3 locations, over 150 vehicles online at theautostoregroup.com, and most importantly, proud members of the Eastern North Carolina community for over 38 years.
Hey, Pitt County Schools families, the month of August is here and school will certainly be different this year. If you are starting school 100% virtually or are attending school face-to-face on alternating weeks, we are looking forward to resuming the purpose of our system, and that's the education of the children in Pitt County in an excellent and a safe manner. For videos with our leaders, FAQs, and so much more information to answer your questions, visit our Road to Reopening page on our website at pittschools.org or keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember, we'll face this upcoming school year together because we are Pitt County Schools strong.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Know what I like most about my new phone from US Cellular?
I don't know.
That it was $700 off.
What? Switch to US Cellular and get $700 off the latest phones. US Cellular. Choose fair.
Promotional pricing requires an unlimited everyday or even better plan. New line, port-in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month retail installment contract. Taxes, fees, and additional restrictions apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Weekdays are a great time to visit North Carolina State Parks. The best time to learn about nature is to be able to look, listen, and feel its natural beauty. A visit to the North Carolina State Parks is perfect for homeschoolers, scout groups, and teachers looking for a fun field trip during the week. You'll be amazed at all the natural wildlife you'll see when you experience the beauty of each North Carolina State Park. Visit ncparks.gov to get all the information on the closest park near you.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio 1250 and 930.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. And as we head back in to Pirate Radio Live, I do have a TV schedule update for you, Clip. As we have been talking about some of the games being televised on ESPN. It's just been announced that the Southern Miss South Alabama game that is scheduled for Thursday, September 3rd, That will be televised on the CBS Sports Network. So
Okay.
we do have one additional change as far as the TV schedule that we've got.
I saw, so of course, this Saturday is the opener that we've all been looking forward to. Austin P versus Central Arkansas, 9 o'clock on ESPN. I saw a lot of games scheduled for Saturday, September 5th that were going to be televised. I haven't seen many television announcements for next Thursday, which is 8 days away. And you said we've got the Southern Miss game is going to be CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, and the kickoff, I believe, is at 9 p.m., although the schedule I was looking at earlier said 8 p.m., so I'm not sure if they're going by the Central Time or Eastern Time.
Okay, well, either way, it'll be on television. That is a good thing. We've got football on TV. All right, good stuff, Shirley. Let me know if anything else comes out when it comes to TV schedules.
Can I add something to that?
Please do, Steve.
Okay,
Roccaforte.
so this is what cracks me up, but I have to say it because it's coming up right now, and I'll never be able to say it again. When I was the head coach at Lamar, and we played football, right? So we're in Southeast Texas, and you're going to correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But I'm just going to give you my thought process.
So you were the head coach at Lamar? I didn't even know that.
Well, I mean, read the bio. I mean, it's there. It's in black and white.
I had a trivia question about Lamar last week. That's Beaumont, Texas, right?
Yeah, they're about to get hit with a hurricane if you haven't watched the Weather Channel.
I don't.
Okay, so this is, I'm going to end it quick. So this is the deal. On Sundays, who plays football on Sundays? The NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who plays on Mondays? NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do they play on Wednesdays? Sometimes I think I've seen, no. Wednesdays were church in Southeast Texas. Wednesday was church.
Okay.
Thursday, they play college football. Friday, they play high school football. Saturday.
Are you writing this down, Chandler?
No, just listen. This is my rationale, and then you tell me if you think I'm right.
Okay.
And then Saturday is real college football, like Alabama, Texas,
East Carolina.
Yeah, like that. And so I said, well, if we're serious about football and we want to have a lot of people at the game, we need to play on Tuesday nights. Let's play Tuesday night college football. Nobody else is on TV. You'll be on whatever channel you want to be on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go to the next thing. I just thought about that.
And
do you agree
and then
or disagree?
And then they fired you?
Yeah, I should, but I was in the wrong position. I should have been like the vice president of the school.
No, it's a great
I should
idea.
have been the basketball coach.
And if you look now, you know what they do, right? The MAC is on weeknights. The Sun Belt is on Tuesday, Wednesday night.
But that's what I'm saying.
So people will
Tuesday
watch
night,
their games.
Yeah, we'll have sellouts. It'll be sold out. And
Now,
it'll be on TV.
That's the issue. They're on TV every week, but there's not a lot of people at those games.
I'm just thinking, what is there to do on a Tuesday night in Beaumont, Texas?
You're right.
Okay.
You're exactly right.
I mean, I think I was in the wrong job.
So where were you in relation to Pat Knight coaching there?
He actually, do you really want to know?
If you want to talk about it.
My team took him to the NCAA tournament, if you really want to talk about it.
Okay, because I had a question last week regarding Lamar.
Yeah.
So your recruits made it to the tournament. Your team, you just weren't there to coach them.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So, and if you want to keep going down this path, Mike James, who was the point guard on that team, who was the MVP of the conference tournament.
Played in the NBA?
Played in the NBA.
Yeah.
And also plays now in NBA Europe. Makes $2.5 million a year if you're counting at home. And I'd also signed a 7-foot high school kid named Michael Kaiser twice. Signed him out of high school. He didn't make his grades. We put him at a prep school, and we signed him again, who played 3 years for the Toronto Raptors. So just in case you're following along and you go back and read the bio, then that year – they didn't have Michael Kaiser because I wasn't the coach, and he said, I'm not going there if you're not the coach.
All right.
But we could have had a senior guard who was an NBA player and a freshman 7-footer who was an NBA player. Just an interesting fact.
And you'd have been re-upped, and you'd have been – I'm glad that didn't happen because you wouldn't be here, Coach. You'd be a head coach somewhere.
Well,
you're very combative. Are you combative because I didn't read your bio thoroughly? Is that why you're upset with me?
No, you're the one that asked the question. I didn't. You said I didn't even know. I said all you have to do is read the bio.
You're right. I should have read your bio.
Yeah.
You're an interesting man. I'll give you that, and you're well traveled.
I'm well traveled. I don't know if it's interesting, but I'm well traveled.
I was also wondering what sweet lid you were going to wear today. You went with the Astros, but the. Is there 40? What is on the side?
World Series.
Oh, okay. I thought
2019.
I glanced. I thought it was the Jackie Robinson edition, but this is the World Series.
No, but I have that
edition.
one.
You got the 42 as well.
Yes.
How many hats do you own? Do you think? We talk about hats a lot off the air. You want my old school ECU hat? I forgot to bring it for you today.
Is it? Can I wear it?
You can have it.
No, but I'm saying, can I wear it?
It's a 7.5,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's in
my
good
size.
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to trade you a hat.
All right. How many hats do you own?
Probably over 300.
Over 3? Jeez.
Maybe more. I mean, I don't know. If you walk into my, I live alone. So when I have hats all over my place that I live.
That's awesome. I need to... You show me the ones that are available for trade.
No, they're all available.
Well, I don't want to take one that's special to you,
No, I mean...
All right. We'll talk about all
I have all kind of hats.
All right.
I have NFL hats. I have Major League Baseball hats. I have minor league baseball hats. I have college hats.
I do love that Astros logo.
Well, I wasn't wearing it. I've been wearing different hats, and I wear a hat into the office and I take it off, and then normally during basketball season I'll wear an East Carolina hat, but I still take it off when I go in the office. But lately I was changing hats, and then I was like, no, I'm going to go. This is my normal hat.
That's your hat.
This is my
right
normal
now. Okay.
hat.
All right. This is what people want to hear about and see, right? Hat talk. Let's talk about your basketball team, Coach. And I talked to Cy Seymour yesterday.
Yep.
Who always puts us in a good mood and puts a smile on our face. And he said, he was just talking about how happy Joe Dooley, the staff, the players are to get back on the court, to be working. And that's been going on a while now, Coach, but you didn't see him for a while. You were away from him for a while. So what's it been like since they've been able to return to the gym and get some work in?
I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I think those guys want to be in the gym, and I think, players want to play and coaches want to coach. There's no doubt about that. And, you're trying to get back to the best possible routine that you can, as soon as you can. And, it's just hard. I mean, it's hard for everybody because things have changed so much, and you want to make sure that you're being as thoughtful and as healthy as possible in everything that you do. And I think Joe has done a really good job because he has put a lot of thought into it as far as the health and safety of the players. And I think even going a step further with that, because of his thinking in that way, I think it's really helped our guys develop skill-wise, to develop individually. I think it's helped them a lot.
Antoine Jackson, who I really enjoyed my conversation with him, talked to him once here on the show. He brought that up, that it's a little tougher on a coach when you have to have smaller groups, but it's great for the players because they get individual work in. And is that something you're still having to do now, the smaller groups?
Yeah, I mean, and we've had to change, because and Coach says it all the time. At some point in time, you're going to have to play 5-on-5.
Mm-hmm.
At some point. But I mean, leading into it, I think he did the right thing by, they were conditioning, they were lifting with the strength coach, and then when they came in the gym, the groups were small. Three guys at a time, 4 guys at a time. Well, they had their own basket. The day was a little bit longer for us, but that's what you're there for to begin with. You're there to help every player be a better player. You're there to help them be a better student. You're there to help them be better, and that's why you're there. So I mean, that's no big deal. But they did get a lot of reps, and there was a lot of individual instruction, and I think just from looking at those guys, at where they ended the season, last year to where they are now after that period of time. They've definitively gotten better.
And that's great to hear because it has not been a normal offseason. One thing we are not used to here, Coach, with East Carolina basketball is having a veteran team, a team that's been together for a while. And it's only been 2 years now that we've seen this, but how comforting is it to have all those guys back that you had last year? Last year, we had to get a program. We didn't know who these guys were. Now we're getting just about everybody back together. How comforting is that to have that?
I think it's a bigger deal than what a lot of people think. And I'm saying from a coaching standpoint of experience, a lot of times if you look at leagues and when they start picking preseason, they'll pick teams to win the league that have the most returning guys.
They know from last year, yeah.
Yeah, they pick teams in the top 4 or 5 of a league that they think, that have the most returning players.
Well, we saw them last year. They're going to be good this year, type of thing.
Yeah, so. and I think my personal opinion is if your talent is good enough to come in 4 or 5 straight up in your league, then you have a chance to win the league. Because that's going to depend on injuries. It's going to depend on close games. It's going to depend on other teams' injuries before you play them. But if you're good enough talent-wise to be in the top 4 or 5 teams in your league, then you're theoretically good enough to win your league. You just have to have all the right things happen. And, in order to do that, I think you have to have returning guys. I think the more returning guys you have, the more familiarity with the staff, that they understand everything that's going on. They know the system. They know the lay of the land. It's just a lot easier.
We'll get a break in a moment. One more before we do. So, we'll see what happens when the guys get on the court against opponents. But I have heard that, these guys are shooting lights out. And the three-point shooting has looked good, this offseason since they returned. But, Coach, ECU is a better three-point shooting team than we saw on the court last year, right?
Oh, yeah,
We saw Pig get in his funk, and we know he's a better shooter. J.J. Miles got better as the year went along. Brandon Suggs was a freshman. He's going to get better. From a shooting aspect, a three-point shooting aspect, where are we right now as a team?
Well, I think what you said was whatever our percentage was, 29%, 30%, whatever it was as a team last year, I think we're a much better three-point percentage shooting team. But I also think that those guys understanding what we're doing offensively, understanding where the shots are going to come from, understanding what the level of competition is and who they're playing against, I think all that plays into it too. And I think the more comfortable they are with what we're doing, the better you're going to shoot. I think the more comfortable they are with each other, the better they're going to shoot. I think the better shots they take, the better they're going to shoot. So, and that's not even talking about, hey, how much better can a guy get through the off season from one season to the next if they really put in the reps. How much better are they going to get? I think we're going to be a much better three-point shooting team.
And I lied. One more thing before we head into a break. We were so jacked up for last year, and we started the season, and Pig and Tremont Robinson are hurt. And we're like, man, we were ready to see these guys, and it took a while for them to get in the lineup and get going. And I don't know if they were ever really 100% last year. But how about this year health-wise, where they sit right now? Any lingering injuries or anything for anybody?
I think that was the first thing is we said last year, yeah, we feel good about our team, but we need to be healthy. That's what we talked about on a daily basis. So not having those two guards that had some
that you were planning on being your starting guards, right?
Yeah. And then we ended up starting 2 freshmen.
And that might have helped Tristan Newton, who was awesome last year.
And it helped Suggs.
And Brandon Suggs, yeah.
Because they were both freshmen. And but I think, Pig, because he had played at Virginia Tech and he had played at a high level in junior college. Tremont, because he had played at a high level in junior college. Those guys had some game experience of college basketball. But they were hurt. And then as soon as those guys started to come back, then Luigi got hurt.
Yep.
And so, I think we did the right thing. I don't think we rushed anybody. I think we took care of their injuries. and it allowed those guys to get healthy. A lot of the injuries. Another guy that was really bothered last year at the end of the year was Batumba.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had some plantar fasciitis problems with both feet. That the only thing that he could have done besides the treatment they were doing was take time off. So, you know, hopefully, you know, Tremont had an ankle, Pig had a shin, Luigi had a foot. Batumba had 2 feet. You know, those type of injuries, the only way that they're going to get better and healthy is to be off.
Those lingering ones are almost worse because you can't just, you know, have a fix, a surgery type of, you know.
Yeah.
You just got to deal with it.
And that's, you know, that's the hardest thing. You know, you're trying during the season, you know, have them do what they can to be as sharp as they possibly can and to have them for the game, but also try to take care of them and treat them and keep them off their feet. But, you know...
So when we don't get any definitive answers from you or Dooley or anybody on will a guy play this weekend, you really don't know because you don't know how they're going to feel that day type of thing.
Yeah.
With those lingering deals.
You want them all to play.
Yeah.
You want everybody to play. You want to be at full strength, but... You know, sometimes it is. Yeah. You know, it goes down to the wire.
But this year, how about this year? Is everybody...
I think we're good right now.
Good to go right now? There we go. We got a big wooden table. All right, let's get a break in, Shirley. We'll come back. More with Coach Rock. We'll talk about Jaden Gardner, what he's done to improve this offseason. We'll ask about Farrakhan, Fifi, the newcomers, and more with Steve Roccaforte. When are we going to play college basketball again? We'll ask him that, too. He won't have an answer, but we'll ask him. We'll do that and more after this.
CD's Grill in Winterville wants to thank you for all of your support during these crazy times. CD's Grill has the area's best country cooking, and you can come and enjoy a down-home breakfast or one of our daily country lunch specials at CD's Grill.
Hi, this is Lawrence Manning from my entire CD's Grill family. Thank you for all your support. And we invite you and your family and friends to try CD's Grill and taste for yourself the best country cooking around. Promise, CD's Grill.
CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Some quotes from college football coaches and administrators during this pandemic. Really? Those quotes are next.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Anthony Santander against Snell, hitting from the right side, and this one's hit hard to center field. Back goes Kiermaier, drifting back, now on the warning track, still going back, and it will be out of here. It's gone. A 2-run home run for Anthony Santander, and we are all tied up in the 4th inning.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles.
Let's go back to late May. Oklahoma State football coach Mike Gundy said, quote, "I'm opening up my football building June 1st. End of quote. Hey, coach, it's not your building to open up, and you have no authority to do so. This is the same Mike Gundy who wore a far right-wing T-shirt and later apologized. And then there's LSU head coach Edward Girard, who said, quote, "Football is the lifeblood of America." End of quote. That one is a real head-scratcher, but Coach probably believes that. Coaches live in a cave, and until recently weren't aware of a whole lot else going on in the world. And then there's Texas Athletics Director Chris Del Conte, who says he'll have 50,000 fans in the stands when the Longhorns play next month. Oh, really? Open mouth, insert foot. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ecu.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
This is Stephen Igo, publisher of HoistTheColors.net. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any college sports program, and no one devotes more coverage to the future of ECU athletics than Hoist the Colors. Want to know who's going to be the next Holton Ahlers or Jaden Gardner? We've got all the inside scoop on the Pirates' most talented recruits and top targets 24/7. Sign up now and get your first month of coverage for a single $1. HoistTheColors.net, the most reliable reporting on ECU athletics.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot? Fixed. Damage from smoke or fire? Fixed. Damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC. Restore, renew, maintain. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Flip Brock.
All right. Stephen Igo going to join us on the show on Thursday. He just texted me, got to read the bio. That is an all-time great line. I need a bio. It's kind of like, do you know who I am? Read the bio. That's awesome.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I know, but it was awesome. I wish you did mean it like that. I like a little feistiness. Redbeard, our resident troll, asked, does Coach Rock like to bang trash cans while watching baseball? Wow.
Well,
low blow.
No, it's not. They didn't give. We still have the trophy and we still have the ring. So I mean, it's it is what it is.
We used to have an assistant coach, Greg Horinda, who would stomp his foot the entire game during the entire basketball game. Maybe you guys should get some signals in on the sidelines.
I can't do that. It hurts my feet too bad.
All right, Steve Roccaforte joining us, talking ECU hoops and more. Let's talk Jaden Gardner. He is worth the price of admission. He works harder than anybody, plays harder than anybody on the court, and is a lot of times better than anybody on the court. What does he got to do, Coach? Extend the range? How can he get better than he already is as a basketball player? What is he working on?
Yeah, I think being able to stretch it to 3, could open up his game a little bit more. He's very good in the post. He's very good at getting fouled. He plays really, really hard. He rebounds, tries to rebound everything off the glass. He's a very good scorer. And from 18 or 19 feet in, he's a really good scorer. I would say if he wants to try to round his game out, it's stretch the floor to 3 and really concentrate on defending without fouling. Because what happens, what people don't understand, it's like when guys start talking, even in recruiting or whatever else, like, hey, I'm this position. This is the position I play. Well, you're the position that you can guard. Whatever position you can, we know he can go guard a 4, and we know he can.
Hey, if I'm generically looking at Jaden unbiased, I'll say he's undersized. He can't play in the Does he have a spot in the NBA? What does he need to do? Is it all about shooting from the outside?
Well, I think that takes away from what you were saying. Because what happens is people will look at you and they'll say, okay, he's this size, and what position is he now? But if you add that element to your game, then it's hard to say that. And I also think this, and I think different than a lot of people, but my thing is if a guy was in middle school, if a guy was in elementary school and he scored a lot of points in elementary school games, then he went to middle school and he scores a lot of points in the middle school games, and then he goes to high school and then he goes to college, chances are whatever league he plays in again, he'll do the same thing.
Yeah. So there's a place for him.
That's what I think.
And you're going to help them get there.
Well,
keep working.
And he still has, the way you have to look at it as far as getting better is it's not necessarily the years that he's going to play, because you look at him, you go, okay, he played his freshman year, played his sophomore year, now he has the junior senior year. Yeah, but he has those off seasons.
Yeah.
He has that off season before and then that off season after to improve and to make his game different.
And previous to your time here at ECU, since I've been following, we've had a ton of guys on the all freshman team, and they don't get better. They don't develop for whatever reason. Like, how is that a challenge when a guy is a great freshman player? That does he kind of rest on his laurels? Do you have to tell him, hey man, that's great, but you got to get even better? What's that development process like for you coaches?
Well, I mean, I just think that's individually. When you're looking for guys, you have to look for guys that have high character. You have to look for hard workers. You have to, those guys have to have those qualities before you bring them here. Because again, like what we were talking about, whatever your habits are, whatever you're used to doing, whatever you do on a daily basis, that's the stuff that's going to come out. Are you lazy or do you work hard? Do you have goals and aspirations to be much better than what you are? And then when you see where you are, hey man, I need to take it up 2 or 3 notches. What is your your mental and physical capabilities? What are you trying to do? And I think that's the hardest thing in recruiting. You can watch what can a guy do on the court, and then you have to spend a lot of time getting to know him as well as you can and doing a lot of background work to know, okay, what can we expect from this guy on a daily basis after we get him?
Basketball on the court has changed over the years, and I mean, I've watched just about every bubble game I can, and it's a lot of 3-point shooting and a lot of guys standing around outside the arc. So that part has changed. How about the player, the person, the kid? How has that changed through the years, Coach Roccaforte?
I mean, everything changes. The game has changed because, and we were talking about this yesterday after we finished working out. The game has changed because they referee the game different, because they want the game to be more high scoring. They want it to be less physical. They want it to be high scoring so that it'll be exciting.
It's more entertaining for fans.
Correct.
If it's higher scoring.
Right. And
I watched Bad Boys for the second time over the weekend, by the way. A little different than what the Pistons and those teams were doing back then.
Yeah. I mean, you could clothesline somebody and they would shoot 2 shots and nobody'd get thrown out.
Yeah.
Or they could do like and you saw the clip, if you watch that, when somebody was doing a reverse layup and they just hooked him around the neck and pulled him down to the ground, and then they started fighting, and when they came up he shot 2 free throws and they kept playing.
Larry Bird threw the ball at Bill Laimbeer's head, and they just went on with the next play. All right, your ball out of bounds. Let's go. A little different. You're right. But
and I think that goes into what you're saying. It's really, and this will probably be a little bit different, but you're saying, are the players different? The players are different, but do you know why the players are different? Because their parents are different.
Because the generation above them were different. So
yeah.
All right. So you're not a blame the kids guy. That's good.
No, I mean, it is what it is.
Blame the millennials.
I mean, nobody. No. I don't think people do it the way that it was done. You know, I mean, if I came home and I said, "Hey, my teacher said boom, 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 boom." Well, I got in trouble from the teacher, and then I got a spanking from my dad.
Yeah.
And my dad said, "I'm on her side."
Right.
And I said, "Hey, my coach said," and then I got a spanking, and my dad said, "Do whatever your coach said." So it's a different deal.
Different deal. All right, let's talk about some of the newcomers. Noah Farrakhan. Is he popular on his Instagram because of his basketball skills, or because of music, or people he knows? Or we're talking about how many Instagram followers he had yesterday.
You know what? He's probably both. Probably all. You know, probably him. Probably he has a good personality. He's been on the scene for a long time as far as a basketball player.
I think, what'd you say that Ja Morant commented on him or something, Chandler? So, like, how's his head? Has his head blown up because of that, Coach?
I don't think so.
That's good.
He's a very, very talented player, like everybody knows. And, I think that we're looking forward to seeing him at his very best. I think he's looking forward to being in a spot where he can fit in. And I think so far it's been good.
That's good. And Fifi, it's Kwanzaa. Is it Derek Kwanzaa?
Yeah.
I've called him Fifi so long now that I forgot. Yeah, Derek. Another big man added to the stable. How has he looked so far?
I think his deal is he's very athletic. He plays really hard. He's a little bit raw, but, I mean, we knew that. And he's going to get better and better as he continues forward. I think he gets better every day. He just needs to be coached really hard.
Have you ever had a big man that wasn't raw, like Shaq and I don't know Alonzo Mourning? Like, it seems like every big man, they're almost trying to get their feet under them, much less figure out how to play basketball type of thing.
Yeah, and I think that happens because those guys they grow in odd ways. Some of these big guys are 5'10", 5'11", 6'1", 6'2" for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden they hit a 6 or 7 inch growth spurt, and they have to get used to everything again. But if you stick with guys like that want to be good, that try to be good, and you continue to work with them as everything catches up with them, they can become really good players.
We kind of saw that with Charles Coleman, right? Yeah. The longer the year went on, the better he got, and physically, body wise, I mean, he's got that Dwight Howard chiseled look to him, and again, it almost looked like he was uncomfortable at times on the court, but that's just part of it. That's part of growing, right?
Yeah, and I think it's everything, man. Those guys are young. It's the first time some of them have been away from home, and it's a new.
I guess when you see a 7-foot giant dude, you don't expect them to have feelings like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they're human. They're people like us. They're just taller.
Yeah, they're 7 foot, but they're still 17 or 18 years old.
Right.
And mentally they're 17 or 18 years old, and they're trying to develop as a player. They're trying to develop as a person. They've just moved away from home. There's just a lot of things that are different for them, and that's why I said, as a coach, the one thing that I've always understood the entire time I've been involved is that it's a player's game in college. It is a player's game, and because that's the reason why you have a job. If there weren't the 13 players, then you don't need a coach or a trainer or a doctor or a academic advisor. You don't need anybody. You don't need any of those people. And so my thing is you try to help those guys as much as you possibly can. You try to support them as much as you can. You try to help them develop in every way and help them be successful.
Coach, when are we going to play basketball? 2020, 2021? And what's Coach Roccaforte have to say about that?
Well, I mean, until duly noted otherwise, I think we're playing in November because that's the way it's set up right now. I know things change on a daily basis, and there's so many things that go into it. There's federal government, there's state government, there's university rule, there's
conference.
Yeah.
So you almost don't know who's making the call. There's so many different people are making calls on this thing.
And so you just stick with what you're doing as much as you possibly can and continue to try to get better. You just, hey man, we're gonna do our classes in person and online. Okay, we're going all online. Okay, we're gonna do our classes online, and we're gonna do the best we can with that, and then we're gonna adjust our schedule of how we're working out and how those guys are lifting and how they're conditioning and how can we help them get better and how can we be prepared that if we play in November, we're ready to play in November.
And I hate it for the high school kids. Talked to a lot of area coaches that have been working out this off season, and then they learned last week that their season's being pushed to the spring because the kids know what they're working out for, but they want to know when will they be able to put their talents on display. But have you talked about, have the players asked you or the coaches about that at all? Like, Hey, when are we going to get to get in Minji's and play a game against another team? Are they wondering about that stuff?
Not really.
Okay.
Our guys really haven't said anything. I think they have the same mindset that we have. That we're gonna be ready to play in November, and if it isn't November, it'll be December, and if it isn't December, we'll play in January. I think they're just happy to be around each other. I think they're happy to be working out and getting better, whether it's on the court or in the weight room. I think they're just happy to see each other. That's one thing about our group that I think is a little bit different. Those guys, for having so many new guys last year and bringing so many different people from so many different places together, they have unbelievable chemistry. And I think that's another thing that you need to win. Mm-hmm. And you can't coach that. You can't make that happen. Those guys have to be genuine with it. And I think because of the type of people that we recruited and because of what they're trying to do, they know they need each other. And those guys really care about one another. They're extremely close, and they have great chemistry. They very much enjoy being around each other.
You recruited some good basketball players, certainly not good baseball/softball players, Coach. Saw the video ECU basketball put out, and I give Pig credit. I could tell just the way he was handling the ball that he had played baseball before. And then you had a couple of studs hitting home runs, but for the most part, the video ECU basketball put out was pretty comical. Those 7-footers trying to hit a softball.
Do you know what the score was?
I don't. All I saw was a 20-second video. Now,
okay, so
they didn't tell the whole story.
Use your pen.
Okay.
All right, this is on the coach's side. Okay.
Oh, so it was coaches versus players?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We won.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so coaches versus players.
All right.
Dooley hit 2 out.
Okay. What is it? A home run derby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He hit 2 home runs.
All right.
George Wright, 2 home runs. Our video guy, Adam, who I don't even know his last name. Shame on me. He hit 2 out.
All right, that's not fair. If you don't know the guy's last name,
and he's little. He's not very big.
You recruited him to join
Vinny, the strength coach.
Oh man,
hit 1. So what is that? That's
like
7.
He looks like Ken Caminetti back in the day.
That's 7.
All right.
Right?
Yes. All right.
Okay. Players. JJ Miles hit 1.
Nice.
Ian, the one that you said
that was a bomb. Yeah, he had a good stroke.
He hit 2.
Yeah.
And then Charles hit 1.
Charles Coleman.
Correct.
Hit 1. All right.
So what's the score?
That would be 7-4. If you're scoring at home.
If you're scoring at home.
Steve Roccaforte, you said you had you need to beef up a little bit. You got warning track power.
Yeah, I'm like I told some of those other guys. I'm a lifetime minor leaguer. I have warning track power. I hit three or 4 to the track.
You're Tony Gwynn. You're a base hit guy.
They look good coming off the bat, and then they're like, oh, it might go, and then it just drops.
How about Dooley hitting 2 bombs? That's pretty cool.
Hey, and he could have hit. If we do it again, I think there'll be more.
That all seriousness though, that goes to the chemistry, right? You guys having fun out there playing, that's awesome.
The 2 most important home runs were Dooley, because now he hit 2, and then look on that list. There's a lot of guys that didn't even hit 1.
Yeah.
So he has the upper hand all the way through.
That's a good thing. All right, I guess we'll let you run, Coach. That was a fun hour. I appreciate you hanging out, man.
No problem, man.
We'll do it again.
Thank you.
Do it again. Steve Roccaforte joining us, and Coach, are you? I guess you're off at this moment, but are you daily working out with the team? What's it like? What's tomorrow look like for your guys?
Tomorrow they'll have shooting groups. I think in the morning, and then in the afternoon we'll have a workout. And they will also lift at some point through the day, besides doing their online work and their study hall and everything. I mean, it's
a full day.
It's business as usual as much as possible.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. All right, thank you, Coach. We'll talk to another coach coming up at 5:00. Jason Hamilton, women's soccer coach, going to join us. Also, former ECU tight end Bryce Williams. But coming up next, we'll check in with Brian North, talk about everything going on in the world of sports after this.
Your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Looking for your next career opportunity or even just some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring across eastern North Carolina. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and even financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. With plans to provide more than 100 new jobs currently, we hope you'll visit DixonFoods.com to learn more. Dixon Foods, proud to be your locally owned and locally operated franchisee for McDonald's.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood is employee pricing on all Buicks and GMC SUVs, including Canyon, with the purchase and lease options. Remember, Brown & Wood is the home for the lifetime powertrain warranty for all makes and models.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
Bostic Sugg Furniture wants to know, how'd you sleep last night? If you're like thousands, the answer is probably not very well. You're tired, stressed, your job suffers, and worse, your health suffers. Get better sleep on a Restonic mattress, a Consumer's Digest Award winner 13 years running. Restonic Queen mattresses start as low as $4.99. Restonic 2-sided Queen mattresses from only $6.99. If you're ready to wake up to a whole new you, we have a Restonic mattress waiting for you, exclusively at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Great news, amigos. Chico's Dine-In Service is back open every day. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Chico's is still offering to-go and curbside service as well by calling 757-1666. Don't forget to stock up on Chico's famous margarita mix for only $9.99 per half gallon. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to-go.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Back to School is here, and the Auto Store Group is committed to helping their customers drive the best quality pre-owned vehicles and committed to caring about the kids in our community. Right now, during the Backpack to School event, every time the Auto Store Group sells a vehicle, they will be making a $50 donation to any local school that the customer chooses. The Auto Store Group, 3 locations, over 150 vehicles online at theautostoregroup.com, and most importantly, proud members of the Eastern North Carolina community for over 38 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Welcome back into the program. Steve Roccaforte, awesome interview. And Redbeard, who hates on everything on Twitter, said, I got to say, Coach Rock rules, great interview. When Redbeard approves of it, you know you're pretty
That's
cool.
impressive. That's impressive.
So well done to Steve Roccaforte. Interesting situation in the NBA bubble right now, as the Bucks and Magic were supposed to play at 4 o'clock. At 4:04, Tim Bontips, I guess, writer for ESPN, said, the buzzer just sounded to start the game, and no one is out here but the referees. So it appears there could be some boycott going on down in Orlando in the NBA playoffs. Something to follow there. For sure. Nothing to follow right now because a game isn't happening, but something we'll keep an eye on. Shirley, we have been keeping an eye. So if you're scoring at home, we started kind of a few weeks ago with teams that aren't playing football, conferences that aren't playing. We got past that point. We went to the daily schedule updates for teams because teams were adding games. We went to the who's going to have fans. That's a list that we had to come up with. Now we're at a very positive point, I think, when it comes to college football because we're keeping up with when games are going to be on TV and who's televising those games. And we had some updates on that today. In fact, you had one earlier for next Thursday, right?
Right. The Southern Miss South Alabama game scheduled for September 3rd is going to be on the CBS Sports Network. We're still kind of waiting for the Army game that is scheduled for next week. We're waiting for the television announcement for that. We haven't seen anything on that one yet.
Okay. Here are some TV updates. Coming up Saturday night, 9 o'clock, the Guardian Credit Union FCS kickoff. It has a sponsor. It's such a big game. Austin P versus Central Arkansas. We'll talk about that game in a moment with the BMOC, Jeff Nadu. Thursday, the 3rd at 8 o'clock. Here's an ESPN 3 game, Central Arkansas at UAB. Saturday, September 5th, your ESPN lineup is Eastern Kentucky at Marshall at 1 o'clock. There will be some fans there for the Thundering Herd. SMU at Texas State at 4:30. And then Saturday night, it's Arkansas State at Memphis, 8 o'clock on ESPN. There are some ESPN 3 games in there as well. Louisiana Monroe at Troy, Houston Baptist at North Texas, Stephen F. Austin at UTEP. A game that was added pretty recently, right, Shirley, on your list?
That's right. And once again, Army, we don't have a TV schedule for Army yet, although it seems to be leaning towards the CBS, either the sports network or the main channel, because they do have some slots available. So it's kind of leaning more towards that side of it.
Remind me, what is that, September 5th?
Yes.
And they play who? Oh, you didn't have that?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I didn't write it down.
Army versus somebody on September 5th.
Yeah.
Likely on a CBS network.
Likely on a CBS network.
And I did have this one yesterday. I'm excited about this. Monday, September 7th, BYU at Navy. And Chandler, that'll be Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, and Allison Williams. So there you go. All right, that is very positive news. Let's talk more sports now with the BMOC, Jeff Nadu, who joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Hey, Clip, how are you?
I am doing great. I just looked at the book that I usually look at and saw that there are college football games out there. Unfortunately, I cannot place a pick on those yet, but there is a schedule here, and there are games listed. So that is a positive sign, big man. And I saw we've been kind of tongue-in-cheek talking about the Saturday night showdown with Austin P and Central Arkansas, and we're going to preview that baby coming up on Friday because I'm fired up. I'm going to be watching it ESPN Saturday night, but I believe you tweeted, Jeff, that these are actually two good FCS teams, right?
They are. I would say Central Arkansas is probably a top 10 FCS team, and Austin P is actually not too far behind. Yeah, I'm actually excited for this. I think college football's been through so much the last couple of months that it's just going to be refreshing to see something on TV that's not from 4 years ago, kind of like all the sports that came back. But yeah, I mean, Central Arkansas is a team that I think is really interesting this year. I have them like top 10, but Braylon Smith is a really good quarterback. He set the single-season record last year with 3,700 yards. He was really good. They have some great receivers, and they have a pretty good defense as well. I think I think they're a side that I'm going to have some interest in on Saturday against Austin Peay.
That's it's exciting, Jeff. I remember when NASCAR returned, and I was thinking, if we could just get kind of the first sporting event back here in America, then the dominoes will fall, and we'll get a little golf, and then maybe some hockey, basketball, baseball, and that kind of happened. And I'm kind of feeling the same way about college football. ECU going through this pause right now, but still planning on a college football season and a game coming up September 12th against Marshall. But I feel like we need to see the first game before I can start to feel comfortable about that and about college football as a whole. And if I'm watching a game Saturday night, big man, I'm going to be so excited because that means that there's going to be more games to follow.
Yeah, you're already seeing, you got the week 20 or week 1 games. You got the, we got a month or so till then, but I mean, it's happening, Clip, and it's, it's going to be cool this year because I think it's a little bit more, it's a little better this year just because I know we want as many games as we have, but it's kind of more, it's like, Clip, I remember years ago, I saw Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa in concert.
Okay.
Before they were famous, and it was at a little place in Lancaster, Pennsylvania called the Chameleon Club, and it's a little intimate atmosphere. They only have about 200-300 people in there, and it was awesome. And I kind of liken college football this year to that. It's kind of an intimate atmosphere. It's only a certain amount of teams. You don't have 10,000 games a day you got to look at, and you can kind of really spend more time on some of these games. And I'm excited, seeing SEC lines and. The American's going to happen, which, me, I'm a big American guy. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We've waited a long time. We all deserve this, and I can't wait.
Soak it in, folks. First one coming up, FCS action Saturday night, 9 o'clock kickoff. So you can be at your homes, get a little, little pirate beverage in your system and enjoy that football game coming up this weekend. Big man, let's talk some NBA. Since we've last talked, the LA teams have flexed their muscle. It was the Lakers on Monday night. It was the Clippers last night. Lakers looking to close out. Really just I think a spent Portland team, and they're going to be without Dame Lillard. Lakers are double-digit favorites tonight. And I don't know, man. It could get ugly like it did the other night. We'll see what kind of fight the Blazers have left. But, man, once you not you particularly, myself, everybody started questioning the Lakers after Game 1 and LeBron. He has picked it up. Anthony Davis has been spectacular since Game 1 where he struggled a little bit in the second half. And this Lakers team and the Clippers last night too, big man, looking like they are ready to face off in the Western Finals. We'll see if that happens. But those two teams, when questioned, kind of came out angry the last couple of nights.
Yeah, they have. And I think in this game, look, the Lakers are going to win this game. Obviously, you don't get Damian Lillard, which is obviously helpful in a game that Blazers have to have. But, I'm looking more at the total, and I'm saying, why is this number only 223? I mean, you have an offense in the Lakers that's seemingly figured it out. You look at the last two games, 116 and 135. If you figure that the Lakers are worthy of a bet here on the side, why not just bet the over? Because you have to figure, if you're willing to lay 14, you're figuring that this game is going to be out of reach in the fourth quarter. And what that means is LeBron, Anthony Davis, McGee, even Danny Green will go out of the game, and the second unit will come in. And why I think that's impressive, it's important because I think that second unit can score. And whenever you get a second unit, defense usually goes out the window. You look at in the second half of Game 4, the Portland Trailblazers just scored 64 points in the second quarter. Even without Lillard, Clip, I'm confident they can score 100 here. I'm willing to think that the Lakers get to 125, 127, something like that, maybe even 130. All I need from the Blazers at that point to hit this total is 100 or so. And without Lillard, I mean, Lillard only played 11 minutes in Game 4, but they had contributions everywhere. I mean, Hazonia had 11, Gary Trent had 13, McCollum had 18, Whites had 11, Nurkic 20, Carmelo 16. So, they were pretty good. They only had 52 points in the first half, or 51, and they were able to figure out in the second half. So I look at the total and think this is a little too low. I would bet the over.
Talking to the BMOC, Jeff Nadu today here on Pirate Radio Live. Big man, how about Rockets and Thunder? It's been an entertaining series. Who has the edge? Do you like anything in that game coming up today?
Yeah, it's a really fascinating series. It's one of the. I thought this series and then the Nugget Jazz series has been fun. I've been enjoying both of them. Yeah, if I have to play this, I'm going to take the dog here. I don't really know necessarily why the Thunder are 4.5-point dogs at this point. I think obviously the public's reading a little bit too much into Russell Westbrook. I think if Russell plays, I don't know if it's going to be a ton, and I think it could all be conjecture. I remember Patrick Beverley was going to play, Rajon Rondo was going to play. We've seen Aaron Gordon potentially maybe will play, and they don't. I think if you're the Houston Rockets, you have to just figure that you're going to have to probably win this series without Russell Westbrook, and I think the long term is more important. So I think if you need, let's say you go down 3-2 here, I would much rather have him a little bit more healthy for a decider and a Game 7 than I would want him today. I don't want to rush him back, but I like what I've seen out of OKC, Clip. They've been able to really do some damage with the small ball lineup. I think Billy Donovan has realized that Steven Adams is a liability in this series. He's not good enough offensively, and defensively he's just too slow. You've got to be small. You've got to be willing to attack and get to the rim because Houston doesn't have Clint Capella anymore. So, and it's worked. I mean, Dennis Schroeder, Chris Paul, and SGA have been terrific together. Dort has been very good on James Harden. He's bothered Harden. And I think, Clip, people need to realize that Houston is not a great offensive team. I know points-wise they're good, but from an efficiency standpoint, without Russell Westbrook, they're just way too dependent on the three-point shot. They shoot 46 threes a game, but they only make about 34.5% of those threes. So yeah. I think OKC's kind of, with this small ball lineup, I think they can match. I think they can win this game. I'll take the points here.
You mentioned Nuggets Jazz. I would watch, and I'd prefer to watch just Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell play every night against one another. It has been the most entertaining thing in these playoffs. I hate that they have a 4 o'clock tip-off tomorrow, big man. I wanted to be in my chair at home for that one, but I'll be watching it here in the Pirate Radio studios instead. Also, Game 1 of Celtics-Raptors coming up on Thursday, big man. So just a quick look ahead. Any thoughts on Game 6 between the Nuggets, Jazz, and then Game 1 on the east side of things with the Celtics and Raptors?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be very excited about tomorrow's Nuggets-Jazz game. I've actually just bet this. I bet the over 220.5 already. Look, I think it's pretty clear. I'm not really sure why they, I mean, I guess there's only so much they can do, but I'm not really sure why they keep putting these totals where they are. I'm not buying into what the Denver Nuggets did in the second half defensively. Just not. I don't think they're good defensively, and I think you're right. These guys going back and forth has just been terrific to watch. You still haven't gotten much out of guys like Joe Ingles and players like that. I think that continues. These teams just can't stop each other. It's been pretty obvious all series. You're not going to get Barton or Harris back here. These teams are what they are. I think they keep duking it out. If Denver's obviously down late in this game, they're going to have to foul. They're going to have to try to extend the game. So 220F, I'm all over the over.
Talking to the BMOC, Jeff Nadu here on the Fixed NC live line. Jeff, we usually talk to you Friday. We won't this week, but I know you're looking ahead, obviously, to UFC as well. And a little golf action. You getting anything in for tomorrow's golf? What is it, the BMW coming up tomorrow, I believe?
Yeah, I haven't yet. I probably revisit it on Friday. I usually tend to like to deal with the live cards as opposed to.
Okay.
I kind of want to see how these shake out before I get involved. But yeah, I'll probably get involved at some point.
Check out Big Man's Twitter at Jeff Nadu. He'll throw up a UFC pick, a golf pick, and a freebie every now and then. Also, a lot of live chats where you can ask him anything you want to know regarding the world of sports or The Wire or Sons of Anarchy or anything else that the Big Man's talking about. Jeff, before we let you go, I enjoy some of Barstool's content. I was a big PFT commenter fan before he went to Barstool. So he was kind of my introductory into them. So I like him and Big Cat and what they do. And I also like their gambling content more from a humorous perspective than I'm going to tell these guys perspective. But Brandon Walker and Marty Mush and those guys are pretty funny, entertaining. And you, Big Man, are a part of a big beef going on when it comes to the gambling content at Barstool. In fact, I read an article, Jeff, that you kind of started the war that's going on right now with the Barstool gambling content. And I don't know, what's your take on everything happening right now, and where do you stand in this Barstool war when it comes to gambling content?
Well, look, I think if you know me, you know kind of where I'm at right now. I think Barstool, most of it I like. I'm a big Dan Katz guy. I like Mush. I like Walker at times. But there are just certain people at Barstool I'm just not a big fan of. And Rico Bosca's one of them. Paul LaDuca's another one. It's kind of been a long history. I mean, we've all had history together, really, like 5+ years or so at this point, where certain people don't like each other, and we all beef. There was actually an article put out today about just kind of the antithesis and the history of some of the quarrels and beefs. Now, right currently, as we speak, Clip, I'm not an employee at Barstool. I'm working on some things. As many people know, the cat's kind of out of the bag. I had a full-time offer at the beginning of March. I accepted the offer. Corona kind of got in the way, and we kind of pushed it off a little bit. But with Barstool Philly coming out, I'd expect to be around. And it's going to get crazier from here. But, there's just guys that I'm just not fans of it. And it's true. It's not like shtick or anything. I'm not a big fan of certain people. And, they did a great job of kind of detailing all the issues and all the things going on. But I got some good quotes out of it. I think for me, Clip, the only person that matters is Dave Portnoy.
I was going to say that. And can I bring up those quotes there?
Sure.
According to El Prez, Dave Portnoy, he said, quote, "Jeff Nadu is the weirdest looking guy on the planet, but he knows college basketball." Hey, I'd take that compliment any day of the week, Jeff.
Yeah, I think we're all a little weird looking in a way. I will make this clear. Dave hasn't seen me since I've dropped over 70 pounds, so maybe I'm a little less weird looking. But I hate to tell Dave, and I will say this, the only people that I care about my looks are the women in my bed. As long as they're good with it, I'm good with it. So I don't really care. If you think I'm a weird looking guy, that's fine. As long as certain women think I'm cute, I'm good with that. But it was a good compliment. I'm fine with being a good college handicapper. As long as Dave knows and respects me, that's all I could ask for.
All right, not quite sure where to go from here, so I think we'll just wrap it up, Jeff, on that note. Have a good weekend gambling and whatever you choose to do in your bedroom. We got football coming up Saturday night. That's exciting. A lot of NBA playoffs as well. We'll keep in touch with you, big man, and talk to you next week.
I look forward to it, Clip. Sounds good.
All right, that one took a turn that we were not expecting, but you never know where it'll go. Here on Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, any comments on that? You good?
No.
No.
All right.
No,
I got
okay.
nothing.
All right, we'll go to break. When we return, Brian North will join us, talk about the latest going on in the world of college football, ECU. We got breaking news, it seems like, every hour on the hour, so we'll run over it all with Brian North when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Bostic Sugg Furniture wants to know, how'd you sleep last night? If you're like thousands, the answer is probably not very well. You're tired, stressed, your job suffers, and worse, your health suffers. Get better sleep on a Restonic mattress, a Consumer's Digest Award winner 13 years running. Restonic Queen mattresses start as low as $4.99. Restonic two-sided Queen mattresses from only $6.99. If you're ready to wake up to a whole new you, we have a Restonic mattress waiting for you, exclusively at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today. CPW's is currently open 7 days a week, with the bar opening daily at 3 p.m. for cocktails and appetizers, and for dinner starting at 4 p.m. Every Monday and Tuesday at CPW's, receive a free appetizer of your choice when you purchase 2 dinner entrees. The dining room is also available during lunch hours and weekends for private dining, meetings, and events. CPW's also offers drop-off caterings for luncheons, employee appreciation events, weddings, showers, and reunion dinners. CPW's is now offering our streamlined dining room menu of classics and favorites. If there's a legacy menu item that you miss, just ask and we'll do our best to prepare it for you. And for carryout, try easy online ordering at cpws.biz and save 10% off your order just for trying it out. Come see what we're all about. CPW's, corner of Stantonsburg Road and Arlington Boulevard in the Stanton Square Shopping Center, Greenville.
Over 32 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina opened its doors as a place to help families stay together and close to the care they need when they have a sick child. With the addition of a second Ronald McDonald House inside the Maynard Children's Hospital, our need to serve is greater than ever as the medical community flourishes. Help us expand our mission of keeping families close as we grow to meet that need. You can show your support by making a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Visit our website today at rmhenc.org for more information. Thank you for your support.
What's going on, y'all? This is your man, Petey Pablo, and right now you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Raise up!
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Keep your vehicle clean with the Pirates Cove Car Wash Fast Pass. All 3 Pirates Cove Car Wash locations are offering Fast Passes for only $9.99 for all new Fast Pass customers. You can visit their other locations in Greenville on 10th Street, Fire Tower Road, and on Memorial Drive. Pirates Cove Car Wash, the ultimate car wash experience and the official car wash of ECU Athletics. And as we head back into Pirate Radio Live, Clip, I know you're keeping a close eye on the NBA right now, as there's some breaking news concerning that, but there was an addition to, as far as scheduling goes, that I missed earlier this afternoon.
All right.
Wake Forest has added a home game against Campbell, and that is scheduled for October 9th.
All right, there you go.
So,
Chris Haymeyer joined us last Wednesday on the show.
Yeah.
And told us that there were 2 additional games coming. He told us it was not against East Carolina, but he didn't give us the teams. But I think they've rounded out that 4-game schedule now. You mentioned them earlier this week.
Yeah.
And now today with the Demon Deacons. What was the date on that, Shirley?
October 9th.
All right.
No time set yet, though.
Thank you for that as we continue to fill out our giant database of scheduled football games for 2020. What is going on currently in the world of sports? Well, Ronald Acuna is off the disabled list and he just hit a 473-foot home run in his first at bat back from the DL against the best pitcher in baseball, Garrett Cole. So that's pretty cool. What else is going on? Not a basketball game. The Bucks did not leave the locker room and go out on the court in Orlando in the bubble to take on the Magic. They are boycotting Game 5 in protest. So a huge sports story there with what's going on down in Orlando. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line now. Talk about what's going on with East Carolina and around the area with Brian North, who joins us from his bubble. Hello, Brian.
Hello, Clip. What is happening in your bubble?
What it do? I'm trying to stay positive, Brian. Remain optimistic. Again, it's hard for me to go fully on board with everything when ECU's not practicing because they're paused. Yeah. So that's a bit of a concern. But I am excited, Brian, for Saturday night, 9 o'clock on ESPN, Austin Peay versus Central Arkansas. I'm going to watch every snap of that football game.
Let's go P.
Let's go P. That's the chant, and we'll be saying it coming up on Saturday night. Brian, what's your a lot happens in between our conversations, so how are you feeling about fall football right now with what's going on?
I'm still fine with it. I've said all along football will be the hardest sport to deal with the situation because you have more players involved that can get the coronavirus, and that can cause issues. And so what we see happening now with at least teams in our state, I think the situation clears up for them when you start looking at a football-only perspective. You're taking students off campus, and now you're essentially putting your players into that de facto bubble. You're limiting the interaction and the temptations that they're going to have, and you can control the environment a little bit better that way. And then the other deal is when you have these outbreaks, I mean, the glass is half full side of it says, well, now that they've had it, or at least that strain, they do develop some sort of antibodies for a little while, and you know, if you want to look at it in the positive way, you say, okay, that makes them a little less susceptible to future illness, at least through football season. So I still think they can play the games as long as the managers of this world are still on board and still want to jump the hurdles they're going to jump. It's not going to be easy, but they can still play. I've said it all along, you put a good plan in place, you're going to be able to play. You're going to have obstacles you're going to have to get around, but you can play a football season this year. It's just how much effort do you want to put into it and how much problem solving do you want to put into it.
Heard a lot about the contact tracing, how that could affect teams, how that could affect bodies being able to practice, to play, and surely we've had the last couple of days. Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma said he had an entire position group wiped out, and then another position group got hit hard today, right?
Yeah, that was LSU. All but 4 offensive linemen have either tested positive with COVID or are currently in quarantine, so they've lost an entire position group as of right now for LSU.
And look,
so they should be ready to go for the start of the season.
Sure, but and selfishly, Brian, I want to watch football on television, and I want to host the Bud Light pregame tailgate and the fifth quarter call-in show and watch ECU. But like this is going to happen during the season too, right? If it hasn't hit yet. So my hope
the one
is
thing that you do worry about it from a health perspective is when you start dealing with linemen. We do know that this disease affects people who are a little heavier at a worse rate. So if you've seen the most opted out position in the NFL this year was offensive and defensive line. So I think there are always health concerns when you start dealing with linemen, but as long as everybody stays relatively healthy and you can get them to come back. Now, you talked about the positions. I found this real interesting. When the Panthers put together their locker room this year, they purposely kept guys from certain positions away from each other. So you do not have running backs lockering next to each other. They're spread among linemen, and so they have them spread throughout. So if your closest locker guy gets it, at least you won't wipe out a position that way. And then when they have position meetings, they stay very distant from each other. So they try not to have these groups get together to limit the possibility of spread. And I don't know if the college is doing that, and that's why they've had the issue, but I thought that was very intelligent of the Panthers to do some of those things to cut down on the possibility of having outbreaks like that in position groups.
Smart, good idea. And what I was getting to, Brian, is that, you know, I hope it's I hope it can be done, again, selfishly, like Major League Baseball is doing. Let's start it. Right. Let's play the games. If a team can't play, we'll figure that out. In college football, it's just going to be if a team can't play, the game's canceled, probably. But they can't make it up like they do in Major League Baseball. But I'm hoping we can have a start to the season. I do feel like that the season, the way it's scheduled for every team, may not happen because of these big outbreaks for position groups and things like that. But I'm hoping they'll at least start the thing and kind of go from there. We'll see.
Well, and you start dealing with the situations of, okay, who's tested positive, who's had it, how do they deal with that going forward, can they get it again? So some of those things are down the road, and when you talk about rescheduling games, they've kind of left the back end of the season open a little bit, so if they need to extend it to accomplish their goal, I think they can still do that, and you've got to get to the first part of the season before you even worry about that, and there's still some unknowns, and I'm like you, I know they can start the season. Yeah. It's how they're going to handle things going forward, but again, if most of your guys have tested positive, as long as there's no not different strains coming in and getting into your locker room, it's I think you can do it. It's just, is it worth the risk? There's a lot of people who sit on both sides of this fence. A lot of people think sports doesn't matter. I think they take into account all the finances and all the mental health things that go into it as well. But it does matter, but it doesn't matter if the medical side of it is getting worse and you're putting more people at risk, which we have not seen yet. We've only seen one college football player who had a heart-related issue from a COVID test, and the fact that he was part of a football team and the medical staff, they were able to find it, which they may not have found that otherwise. So there's some benefits to the medical staffs that are part of these college athletic teams as well.
Yes, and folks, it's okay to believe something, have an opinion, and to also know there's a different opinion and understand that maybe you might not be 100% right, and of course the other side might not be 100% right, but there are, it's okay to do a little critical thinking every now and then.
It's well documented. I'm in the camp that you've got to try. Yeah. I am not a sit and wait for it to just disappear kind of guy. I am in the camp of, hey, let's try it. Let's figure it out. Don't tell me why you can't. Show me why you can. And when you try, you're going to have setbacks. When you try, you're going to find out what doesn't work. You just hope it's not at the expense of someone's long-term health or even death. But so far, we have not seen the evidence of that, and so you keep going forward until you have one of those instances where you think it can be more on average than just 1 out of 1 million type of percentage sort of stuff.
Talking to Brian North, who is the creator of the Brian North hypothetical that I've been bouncing off people all week. And Brian, your hypothetical is now an actual possibility because, if you recall what I'm talking about, Marshall will be able to have fans in the stands. And as of right now, it doesn't look like, but nothing's official, that I don't think fans are going to be allowed at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Again, that nothing official there. We'll see. But Marshall will be able to have fans. You brought it up last week, Brian, and I've been throwing it out to just about every guest I've had on, that if Marshall says, hey, we'll share a little bit of this pot with you. We'll give you a little money if you want to come play here, and maybe we'll do a return trip down the road. Mm-hmm. Is that something you do for ECU? And another thing Brian North always says is follow the money. How much money are we talking? So that is now a possibility, Brian. I still think the game is played with minimal to no fans at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, but it's an interesting hypothetical that now could be a possibility with Mike Hamrick and the folks at Marshall saying we will have some fans.
Yeah, well, it's all about the money, because I'm going to tell you right now, Mike Houston does not want to give up that home game.
Right.
Mike Houston will be judged on wins and losses only, not on how much money he helps generate for the football program. And home field gives you a lot of points when it comes to college football. And there's the 50th year of commemoration for the plane crash, and there's some other things, but if there's too much money involved, if you're throwing too much money our way and you're ECU and you've had your financial issues, I think you seriously have to look at it. But I don't know if the number of fans they would allow into that game would offset the cost that they would need to travel and to give up that home game. I don't know if it's there. You'd have to run the numbers, but it's an interesting scenario to talk about because money does make the world go round.
Talking to Brian North. Brian, we will, let's see, we've got NC State, who is also pausing and going to online classes, joining the dominoes have fallen there. But are we to the point now where when you see these schools go to online only for students, that I guess we've kind of separated that college football players are different from other students? We don't have to pretend that they're normal students anymore. Are we to the point where when we see that schools are going to online only, that doesn't affect what's going to happen with football? Like it's almost two separate entities at this point?
Correct, because again, if the presidents can still make some money off of football, and as they still think they can get some fans in there, there's still television contracts, there's still a lot of things there where football players are still beneficial to the university from a money-making standpoint, and they're able to isolate them, spread them out. They're not having the temptations of the college parties right there, even though college students are still going to probably be in their off-campus housing. It's not like it's going to be a ghost town at these places. They're just not on campus anymore. And so some of those temptations will still be there. But I think the college athletes, I think that they realize, at least to a degree, the parties will always be there. This is your one chance to play, and it keeps getting drilled into them by the coaches that you can screw this whole thing up, don't screw it up. So especially once you get into the season, they can deal with the outbreaks right now, but once you get into that season, an outbreak can be detrimental to not only the team's ability to play, but who will be able to play in those games. This year will be so interesting if they play, how much depth really does play a factor, because you could have a situation where you are playing with third, fourth, and fifth string guys if other people are out because of quarantine situations.
Yeah, Brian North joining us. Brian, we continue to miss out on these NFL preseason games, which I've hated my entire life, and now I miss more than anything. Sounds like Cam is getting some rave reviews in New England, and now his starting spot is wide open since Jarrett Stidham is out with an injury, and I think Cam's been looking good anyway. Of course, you hear the reports that Teddy Bridgewater is the throwing the most crisp, best looking passes we've seen in a long time for a quarterback here. It's hilarious, like these trade. And now that the teams kind of control the narrative, because there's just not a lot of eyeballs out there, it sounds like every team might win the Super Bowl this year, Brian. I think every team's doing awesome.
Yeah, it's like the NFL draft almost, right? Where everybody's good on paper, and you know, you build up the hype. And I'm not sure what you're building up the hype for, since a lot of teams are starting to say no fans to start the season.
Yeah.
You know, the television interest is what drives the money. But no, it is very curious. And the only thing I'm going to miss from the preseason games is when our local guys, who probably are really on the outside of the bubble of making the team, they get to suit up and play. And so you're not giving those guys the opportunity anymore to see them in action. But outside of that, I'm with you. Let's suit it up and play. And I like the idea of the expanded rosters, or at least the expanded practice squads, because they're going to deal with not only, you know, the virus, but they're also going to deal with injuries not being active all year long. Some guys are not going to be in the best game shape going forward, and so I think injuries are going to play a big factor in this season as well.
And it looks like that, unlike Major League Baseball, this is going to be a team-by-team basis. I feel like I've seen more teams come out and say we're not going to have fans early in the year, but the Miami Dolphins, I think, earlier this week said they were going to have some fans in attendance, and some places will have fans. So
it's going to be based on the states and the governors, and let's face it, Florida has been wide open from the get-go, and that's why Florida has some of the worst COVID numbers there is, including Miami is horrendous, but yet they're still going to let people into football games, which is, hey, look, man, I'm all for personal choice. I'm all for, as long as you give me the information and let me make my own educated decision, then you can go forward. So that's going to be real interesting for them.
Brian North joining us. I'm with you there, man. I mean, if you want to risk it for the biscuit, then go ahead, go for it. All right, North, enjoyed the chat today, man. We will talk to you again next week, and hopefully have more. We'll recap the Austin Peay Central Arkansas game with you next week. How about that?
Let's go P. I don't even know the other team, so let's go P.
We're definitely,
gentlemen, that's what we do.
We're definitely pulling for the Govs. Let's go P. All right, North, thanks, man. There's Brian North joining us on the Fixed NC Live line on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Still to come on today's show, we got to talk to the Hammer, Jason Hamilton, ECU women's soccer coach, and also Bryce Williams going to join us on the program. We got to open up the booty bag in hour number 3 as well. When we return, Shirley will tell you what you're going to win today. We'll take a timeout, come back, and have more Pirate Radio Live for you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Troy D. Proud to be co-founder, one of the owners and operators of Pirate Radio. As we launch into our 18th year in business, we have a lot of exciting news to share. Our afternoon drive show, PRL, Pirate Radio Live, has a new look and is now streaming live every day from our brand new digital studio from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can find us on our Pirate Radio YouTube page and our Facebook page, plus our website, pr927fm.com. If you're in your car, put us on 92.7 FM in Greenville or 104.1 FM in Washington. The new and improved 3-hour PRL is hosted by Clip Rock and Shirley Rhodes and will feature the latest breaking news, awesome guests, and your favorite Pirate Radio personalities like The Voice Jeff Charles, Brian Bailey, Stephen Igo, Billy Weaver, Brian North, Tony Collins, Bryce Williams, Ronnie Woodward, Morgan Ehlers, Mike Mullis, plus LRB and myself. Give us a follow on social media at PR927FM and get the latest programming updates, guest alerts, and breaking news. Thank you for your loyalty and your support, and we hope you enjoy the new and improved Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners Independent Agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Back to school is here, and the Auto Store Group is committed to helping our customers drive the best quality pre-owned vehicles and is committed to caring about our kids and our community. This is Bryce Williams from the Auto Store Group, and right now during our Backpack to School event, every time we sell a vehicle, we'll be making a $50 donation to any local school that the customer chooses. The Auto Store Group, 3 locations, over 150 vehicles online at theautostoregroup.com, and most importantly, proud members of the Eastern North Carolina community for over 38 years.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. What kind of wellness services do you guys offer?
We have massage therapy with your choice of either a relaxation massage, a therapeutic stretching session, or a prenatal massage. We have foot reflexology. We partner with Pirate Cryo for cryotherapy, also known as cold therapy, and we have health and wellness coaching. And if you're interested in holistic body therapy and saving money, we encourage you to check out our wellness membership plan where you can have all of our wellness services at a constant discounted price. You can learn more today at kptonline.com.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Billy Weaver from WIATN. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, Villa Verde on 10th Street and Villa Verde Dos by the hospital are open for you, serving unique and healthy dishes from the Dominican Republic. Order online at myvillaverde.com or the Villa Verde app, and you can order a family meal that feeds 6 to 7 people. They'll have it ready for you for curbside pickup today. Whether it's dine-in or takeout, Villa Verde is a platform for good. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, thank you, Shirley. Intern Chandler is running the video production on today's program. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll welcome in Jason Hamilton, ECU women's soccer coach, and also Bryce Williams, former ECU tight end, going to join us on the program, as we'll take a closer look at the football schedules coming up this weekend. One game next Thursday, next Saturday. Starting to get a little bit excited with football on the horizon and games being scheduled and TV and times being announced for those games. So we'll dive into that coming up later on in today's program. It appears that the bubble may have officially burst when it comes to the NBA. Shirley, you have new...
Oh, well, I was waiting to see what you have before I say anything.
So the Bucks are... And they're not... It's not a forfeit because the Magic are not accepting the forfeit. So this is just more of a protest, a strike. The Bucks did not leave their locker room. They will not be playing the Magic today. And we have also learned, it's being reported, that the Rockets and Thunder are planning to boycott Game 5 of their series.
That has been confirmed. That game has been, according to CNN, it's now been confirmed as postponed, is how they're reporting it. But Thunder and Rockets will not play tonight either.
That's postponed. LeBron has tweeted something to let me think that the Lakers and Blazers game will not be happening tonight. And now I'm just wondering if there will be another game in Orlando, or if they're just going to call this thing off, the entire NBA playoffs, because the way it's looking, I don't know. I don't think we'll see any more basketball. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will be a one-day protest, a two-day protest, but it is not looking like we're going to see any hoops for a little while in the Orlando bubble. In fact, it's also reported by Shams that Bucks players are in the locker room attempting to reach the Attorney General of Wisconsin, Josh Call. So there is a lot going on right now. Nothing going on as far as a game, but a lot going on down there in the Orlando bubble.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the situation, of course, with the Milwaukee Bucks, there was a shooting that was involving a black man who was attempting to, from the story that I read, was attempting to break up a fight between two women and was returning to his vehicle with his kids were actually in his vehicle, and as police were trying to stop him from getting into his vehicle, he was shot 7 times in the back.
There's video.
And there is video online. You can see that. And basically, since then, there have been, I guess you could say, numerous protests, and there was a riot last night where 2 people were killed and 1 person was injured, and a 17-year-old, for lack of a better term, because I don't really know any other way to describe it, is a vigilante, was roaming the streets with a rifle and were shooting at protesters. He has been arrested. They are looking for some additional suspects. So that is kind of what has been, that is where the firestorm, the center of the firestorm is in connection to that shooting. Jacob Blake is, I believe, 29 years old and is apparently reportedly paralyzed from the waist down due to his injuries that he sustained. So, Milwaukee is only about 30 miles away from where that shooting took place. So that's why they wanted to kind of take a stand. And there were rumors floating around that this was going to happen, but we weren't sure if it was going to, and then it did. And now you're starting to see that snowball effect where the Bucks put their, they walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So now you've got other teams in the league that are contemplating not playing at all. So now you've got, where do you go from here? They have been advocating for social change ever since they got into the bubble. That has been very prevalent with the Black Lives Matter and equality written on the backs of their jerseys. Even the WNBA does the same thing, where they have Breonna Taylor's name on their jerseys. So now you have to figure out how you're going to find some sort of answer to how you're going to get these guys back on the court. And like you said, we don't know how long this protest is going to last.
Yeah, and Coy Wire, who I remember that name, being an NFL player, is now a sports anchor, apparently, CNN Sports. He says that they have learned that all of tonight's games have been postponed, the word they are using. That coming out about 10 minutes ago. So no Lakers Blazers either. And again, I don't know if they even return to the court and play another basketball game at this point. All right, tell you what, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We will talk about what's going on here locally. And unfortunately, going to be no ECU women's soccer in 2020, but they hope to return to the field in 2021. We'll talk to their head coach, Jason Hamilton. He got some upsetting news yesterday regarding their season, but hopefully, again, they can get back on the field in 2021, back on the pitch, as they say. Also, Bryce Williams expected to join us, former ECU tight end. In hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live, we got to open up the booty bag too, Shirley. What are we giving away today?
Let me look at my list real quick.
What'd you eat for lunch?
What did I eat for lunch?
That has been the trend the past 2 days. We're going to mix it up today?
Yeah, we're going to mix it up today. Let's do a car wash.
How about a car wash? How about a Captain Special car wash, the Pirates Cove car wash?
That's right.
We'll do that in hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Are your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Know what I like most about my new phone from US Cellular?
I don't know.
That it was $700 off.
What? Switch to US Cellular and get $700 off the latest phones. US Cellular. Choose fair.
Promotional pricing requires an unlimited everyday or even better plan. New line, port-in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month retail installment contract. Taxes, fees, and additional restrictions apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
This is Dr. Elizabeth Robinson with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our extended care clinic is open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard. We treat a variety of urgent orthopedic conditions without an appointment. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at www.orthoeast.com.
Let us help you get back to business. This is Donald Stocks and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina. We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that, plus custom social distancing signage. Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all. We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Get educated and make prudent decisions about your financial future. Contact David Dom at Carolina Wealth Management today at 439-1344 for a free consultation. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live with a couple of pirates in the house with me today. Got Bryce Williams, former ECU tight end, once again. What's up, Bryce?
How you doing?
How's that chair over there? You good? Usually I got you right here beside me.
But hey, he's seniority, so I'm all right with it.
All right, good deal. We'll talk about some. Hey, Bryce, we got some more scheduling news. We got games on TV. We got a football game coming up this Saturday.
Do we really?
Yes, I'll tell you all about it.
My goodness.
And you can watch it on ESPN coming up Saturday night. We'll talk about that with Bryce. Also got Jason Hamilton joining us, the Hammer, ECU women's soccer coach. And we talk about how quickly things change, how much breaking news there is every day. I had set up an interview with Coach Hamilton either late last week or early this week to come in today, and we were going to talk about his fall season. And before he could get here, there is no fall season. So we'll talk about the disappointment of having to move to the spring and what your team has been up to, getting prepared, and now what that schedule is going to look like. But thanks for joining us today, Coach.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to these guys. We got Shirley and Chandler running the boards, and we got to open up the booty bag later on this hour as well. It's all coming up in hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We'll kick it off after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, save over $15,000 off on all new 2020 Cadillac Escalades. Remember, Brown & Wood is the home for the lifetime powertrain warranty for all makes and models.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
In studio with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you guys have a disinfecting service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a 2-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash on 10th Street is now open. The 10th Street location is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes will be good at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and now on East 10th Street. And coming soon, Haviland Express Lube and Pirates Cove Car Wash in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
This summer, may your days be long, your cannonballs large, and your subs giant. Order Jersey Mike's for your next backyard adventure. Just use our app for no-contact pickup or delivery. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. At Jersey Mike's, we've got everything you need to get outside this summer. Cold subs, crunchy chips, and cool drinks. The sunblock is up to you. Order through our app for no-contact pickup or delivery. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market report for today. The Dow finished up 83 points at 28,331. The NASDAQ is up 198 points and closed at 11,665. And the S&P was up 35 at 3,478. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Welcome back into the program, Clip Rock, here on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live, and a couple of guests inside the Pirate Radio studios. Bryce Williams making his Wednesday appearance. Good to see you again,
Good
Bryce.
To see y'all.
Well, we get an update on Pirate Radio Outdoors. Find out what kind of hunting and fishing you did over the weekend. That is a segment we have for you at the end of every show on Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Also, we'll talk some football with Bryce. Is starting to hopefully get some light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to college football, although there's plenty of bad news to look at as well, including ECU currently not practicing as they are on pause. So hopefully they can get back soon to the practice fields. Also joining us is Jason Hamilton, ECU women's soccer coach. And again, I said it during the open of this hour, we had planned on getting Coach in here and talking about his team and his upcoming schedule. And then we found out yesterday, Coach, that there will not be any women's soccer, any volleyball until next spring, so 2021. And I hate that. Thank you for coming in. I know it's not been a great couple of days for you, obviously. Did you know this was coming? Did you have any sense that things might get pushed back the way they were?
We just didn't know, and there's been so much uncertainty that it was tough to prepare for. I'm not going to lie, it was a pretty emotional day yesterday because with that getting pushed to the spring, you had to look some of our student athletes in the eye and let them know it's the last game they've ever played was last year. And I think Bryce knows as an athlete, like, you remember your last game. It was for some it was a victory, for some it was a loss, but you don't forget that game. And I don't think any of them were prepared to be remembering their last game from last year because they thought they had more ahead.
Yeah, didn't really think about that aspect of it, that it's going to overlap with graduation and everything. But what about now? Like, what are you? You're still trying to get over the shockwaves and everything, but what are you doing with your team? From now until say the end of the calendar year, as far as workouts, as far as getting together and everything.
Yeah, I mean, we trained yesterday after the announcement came out. We trained again this morning. I think right now with just the how everything is, it's the one normalcy in their life. Going out on the field and training and playing the game they love. And so we don't want to take that away from them. And, kudos to our administration. They want us to keep going. I think, the worst thing it could be is to take another few months off after having the whole spring and summer off. And then you got to run out there in March and try and play games after being out for a year. And so we've got to keep their bodies physically prepared to be able to compete. And so right now we're still in our 20 hours. We're getting after it. We're going to play full 11v11 match every Thursday night under the lights, try and make it feel normal. Yeah. And maybe try and get some of those streamed for the fans and the families at home to be able to watch us. And we want to keep pushing forward. We've kind of said to them, if we were supposed to play a game 11 days from now, so we should be ready. And if we're ready now, how good are we going to be in the spring? So let's not look at it as we've got months to prepare. Let's be prepared now and just keep getting better.
And it is nice that you can still continue to get together with the team. I've talked to a lot of high school coaches, and I really hate it for the coaches and really those kids, because a lot of those kids, they look forward to football more than anything. Being around the team, for some it's the best part of their life, to be honest. And Bryce, as a former player, you probably had teammates like that and been around guys like that maybe things weren't great at home and everything, but you had that team, you had that structure, and when that's taken away, I can't even imagine it. That's tough.
Oh, well, for sure. And like you said, team and structure is one big thing, but like Coach Hamilton said, it's something these kids are young adults, whatever you want to call them, have worked their whole, lives to at least get to D1 level or collegiate level to play, and to have to shut that off. I think it's great they're able to continue to practice and work out and everything, because the team, bond the team has is huge. And same with football. And, those guys say the home may not be great, and they can come here and be with all their guys and friends and everything. And, it's a huge part of, these student athletes' lives.
Well, Coach, it doesn't really matter now, but I wanted to ask what you were doing, how this off season has been for you with all the challenges and things you've had to do differently in practice, and you were away from your team for so long. So from the point where ECU was able to get back to athletic activities to yesterday when you got the news, what was that like for you, the challenges and practicing and all that?
Yeah, it was unique, and we had to be very creative, and even going back to March 6th was the last day, leading into spring break that we were together until preseason started. So that the entire spring, the summer, a lot of virtual meetings, which I thought we were pretty creative, showing video, coming up with some tactical things we could look at as a team and take advantage of, those hours that the NCAA extended, which we usually didn't get. So we were trying to be creative in that aspect. Our whole group came back in early July. So they were here for about 3 weeks on their own, training, getting ready so we could, hit the ground running. And, it was, we're typically going to have a 6, 7, 8 day preseason, and not with the games being delayed until September, we were looking at a month of preseason. So it was a little bit different, where you're not rushed trying to cram so much in and get set pieces out there and systems of play. And we're kind of just, taking it one day at a time, which we enjoyed, because that's kind of something we've asked for years, is a little bit more time to prepare, and we kind of had it. And, I think our team has been fantastic. Every day, almost every hour, it was something different and something new, and we just took it one day at a time. So let's just deal with what's in front of us. And at first it was going to be a normal season. Then it was, hey, we're going to start late. Then it was going to be potentially conference only, and they just adjusted every time. And I think that's kind of prepared them for not shaking them as much as I thought. We came out and got after it yesterday afternoon after they knew. This morning was a good session. They're not having a pity party, not feeling bad for themselves. They're they've they've seen so many changes almost that they're used to it by now.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. Talking to Jason Hamilton, Bryce Williams here inside the Pirate Radio studios, and I've talked to a ton of minor league baseball players, coaches from different sports, and one of the things that's really most frustrating is there's no end date to when things can get back to the way they were. So every time I bring up a question like, hey, Brian Packard, what's next for you? He says, I don't know. And now you kind of know what's coming up in 2021, but you really don't as far as winter games going to be played, how long is your schedule. So what kind of do you know, if anything, right now about women's soccer for East Carolina in the spring of 2021?
Yeah, right now as a conference, we're waiting on some I guess guidance from the NCAA. They've got to come out and put the parameters in place for, hey, here's what the NCAA tournament's going to look like, here's what the season's going to look like, and then we can take, whether that's a 7-week, 15-week, whatever they give us, we can build in conference play and then non-conference play. And so we're waiting on what that's going to look like, and then we'll get together as a coaches group and try and put things together to pass on to the the administrations of each school, and then they'll come up with something as a conference. So it's unfortunately just a waiting game. I know for conferences, they don't want it to get put too far on the back burner, but the NCAA's got to be prepared for basketball. They've got to be prepared for baseball, softball, lacrosse, all the spring sports. So they want to make sure it doesn't get put too far on the back burner where it gets lost, because there's a lot of planning that's going to go into every university around the country trying to juggle an additional 3-4 sports that have to now be scheduled around us. And lacrosse share a stadium. We don't use Johnson when baseball and softball are playing because of foul balls. You got to have workers at softball and baseball now and inside at volleyball.
Wow. So a lot of things you don't think about.
How in the world are they going?
Exactly.
And Bryce, we've mentioned this, and then maybe I'm being pessimistic. I think I'm being realistic. I just don't see college football working in the spring the way the Big Ten and Pac-12 to have 2 football seasons in one calendar year just doesn't seem feasible.
Physically, I mean, you just think, physically for the guys and everything, and then you got your recruiting, of course your winter workouts, and then your early enrollees, and in the winter, I mean, you got all these factors. It is just
college football. I just don't see it happening. It's maybe a little more realistic for college soccer. Or what do you think?
I mean, our typical year is we'll play 5 competitions in the spring and 20 in the fall. So it really depends on how long they make our season in the spring, because there's so much science out there now that we build a year-long calendar, and we have going through these cycles of when we're peaking and when we're kind of recovering and going back and forth. And it's the same thing. If we're playing games into the beginning of May, and now we're going to turn around and play 20 to 25 games starting the first week in August, that's not a lot of turnaround. And same thing, we have early enrollees coming in this January. So there's a lot of pieces. Typically in the spring, you play 5 competitions, and you're lucky to have enough players to play in those, and because your seniors are usually done. And so now, we'll have our seniors around, but we're lucky we're going to have a big group in the spring, but that's not going to be the case for everybody.
Shirley, I heard you complaining the other day. You are a ticket holder for a professional women's soccer team, and I guess they released their schedule, and I heard you say, well, that ain't going to help me none. What were you referring to earlier this week regarding pro soccer?
Well, the NWSL, of course, they had a Champions Cup not too long ago, and it was basically 3 weeks of competition. That was over, and then they just basically went radio silent for a while. The NWSL just announced yesterday that they're going to resume kind of like a pod system for 3 different locations for all of their teams, and they're going to run from September 5th to October 17th. The problem is that some of these pods are in states that don't really allow fans at this time. And as a season ticket holder, by the way, first-time season ticket holder, I bought a season ticket for the very first time, and I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to splurge and do it right. So I got a field side seat, and those are not cheap. And I have yet to see a game. I have yet to get to the stadium, and they were like, well, And they keep sending me these emails, and of course they sent me one yesterday in light of the announcement. And they're like, we really appreciate your support and yada yada yada, and this is how it's going to break down, but we are still awaiting final decision on whether or not we can allow fans at the stadium.
I'd be
I'm
asking
like,
for a prorated
and I was like, can I just have my $600 back? I mean, come on.
That works too.
I'm like, so it's very frustrating. Because don't get me wrong, I'd love to see the NWSL. I'm a big fan, but if we can't have people in the stands, I'd rather just not have my
as a season ticket holder, you have a little stake in there, so I understand that.
And that ticket's paid for. So, and the problem is that when you get into, their season typically starts like late March, early April, which was fine for me because that's not football season.
Yeah.
So I can travel to Cary to see the North Carolina Courage and see the games, and I could get a good chunk of those games in because usually by September, that's the latter half.
Our weekends are shot.
Yeah, our weekends are shot, and that's the latter half of the season. So I felt, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to get that field side seat, and we'll see as many games as I can, and then by September, I'm not going to be too ticked off about the fact that I can't go see a game.
Right.
I hadn't seen a game yet.
Give Shirley a soccer game. Well, maybe you'll be able to see the ECU women's soccer team on Thursday nights, right?
We'll get you out there.
Look, I would be more than happy to go out there and
Shirley
watch
can
them.
do some PA, I guess. Me and Shirley can do a PA for it. All right, and I know Shirley enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed the MLS bubble. There was not a lot going on in the sports world, and I thought they did a fantastic job having games every night on ESPN and Fox Sports 1. I really enjoyed watching that.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, you can't create those bubbles in college, right, Coach?
I mean, it was talked about. It's just not it's not feasible. Especially, look at some of the conferences. The conferences that could probably afford to do that, their footprint is just too large that the travel would just be too much.
Yeah.
I know ACC talked about even doing that one at Cary where the Courage play, but when you got Notre Dame and Louisville and Syracuse, that's not as easy for them. So it's it'd be great, and people talked about it, but it'd be tough, and we'll see.
Talking to Jason Hamilton, Bryce Williams here inside the Pirate Radio studios, and Coach, again, you're trying to create, like you said, some sense of normalcy with your team, and have some games coming up. So what's kind of the immediate plan for you for the next month or so as far as your team goes?
Yeah, so I think it's just we're still in our 20 hours, so we're gonna go out there, and I think it just changes the maybe a little bit of the tone. I told them I'm not gonna be a drill sergeant. It's not gonna be
a little more laid back.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna play a lot, but we're out there to get better, and we have to find the positive of it, and it's giving us more time to prepare, and it's giving us time to really go through things in detail rather than during the season it's tough because we played Thursday, Sunday. You're off Monday. You train Tuesday. Well, Wednesday's the day before a game, so that's a light day. Friday's the day after a game, so that's a light day. Saturday's the day before a game. So you really train on Tuesdays during the season. So this is a lot different where we get to coach a little bit more and train them. And so that's really what we're going to do is, like I said, play one game a week. So that way we've got video we can use. We're going to do some stuff off the field. We're doing some leadership training right now as a group, really working on building that culture within our program because, year 3 is where I'm at, and that's typically when that can happen. There's been some turnover within the program. We've got more players that we've brought in. The players who have stuck around are committed to doing what we're trying to do. So that it gives us time to work on some of those areas that don't necessarily get to always focus on in the fall. And really, like I said, like they're in online classes right now. They're if they're in the dorms, there's no one else around them. So it's that one thing they can look forward every day that, hey, this is normal. I'm used to getting up and playing soccer every day, and that's going to stay the same.
I was going to ask, does that affect anybody on your team, the decision to go online?
No, I think it only helps us, to be honest. Like usually, with our majors being so spread out across campus, that we've got a really small window to train. Where now, it's a little bit more flexibility to train, have meetings, to do individual training, small group. It's as a coach, it's probably the best case scenario. Is you get to actually coach more because typically we're coaching for 2 hours a day and then 10 hours in the office watching video and that kind of stuff. Where now we can be on the field a little bit more. So it's, we're looking forward to that.
What about the recruiting aspect? And I'm fascinated to hear coaches talk about this. How do you recruit when you can't do the travel, the face-to-face, even the visits, all that stuff?
Well, I think we're looking at a complete, kind of change in college athletics going forward. I think this, what this does is it's kind of forced people to be creative. It's going to, obviously the financial aspect is going to force programs to be a lot leaner.
Yep.
But it's also going to kind of force people to work smarter and be creative. And so, right now we can't go out and watch them. So we've got to watch a lot of video. We can't have them on campus. So, we've got to do FaceTime with them and walk around campus. We're leaning on our players. Like they're, I'm not a 15 to 17-year-old girl, so I can't, I don't know what appeals to them. So, our players said, well, why don't we make a video where, we're kind of going around campus showing them different stuff and it's us. And I'm like, absolutely, because them FaceTiming me for an hour and a half probably isn't the greatest thing.
Not the best recruiting
I got to sell the program. And
Bryce can make you a TikTok. You're into that stuff, right, Bryce?
No, I do not have one of those.
No, that's a good point, though. You got your players selling the program.
So I think it's, and again, the demographic of high school age student athletes, like it's technology, and so I think it's actually going to be those who kind of get ahead of the game and create those ways to reach out to them are going to be successful because it's their phones are attached to their hands, so now they can send a video and hey, here's a campus tour that they can watch and check everything out. And so we're gonna try and be as creative as we can. But we're in the heart of recruiting and right now for that 22 class, and you're starting to see some of them panic because this dead season keeps getting pushed on longer and longer, and they don't know when coaches will get to see them again.
One more, and we'll let you go. Let you get out of here. How is women's soccer, girls soccer at the high school level, the youth level in Eastern North Carolina, throughout the area? Is it where it should be? Could it be better? What's your take on that?
So we're a pretty good soccer state, but it's we don't really recruit high school. It's all club soccer, and there's a lot of the highest club level teams. The NC Courage, they have a youth program. Like they don't play high school; they're playing year-round club.
Gotcha.
It's a little crazy, and again, I think this COVID is going to change a lot of things. We're usually flying out to California to watch players from Raleigh.
Oh, really?
It doesn't make a lot of sense. So, they're spending thousands of dollars. We're spending thousands of dollars, and you're an hour and a half away from us. There are some really, in Raleigh, the Courage Club, they're probably, they have the market. Charlotte has a really good area. We do well in Virginia. So the 95 corridor is pretty successful. North Carolina up to New Jersey. We've got a lot of Philly girls. So we do really well on this part of the country. And then we've got some West Coast kids coming in next year. So I think ECU is such a great brand that you can bring them from all over the country. Our conference is one of the best conferences in women's soccer out there.
That's interesting. And Bryce, you probably went to camps, and I don't know if they have showcase camps for football, but is football the last sport where coaches are recruiting high school kids? Because like you said, there's showcase baseball, there's AAU for basketball. I didn't even think about how long has it been that way for
it's been a long time? I've been coaching college soccer for 10 years, and I've probably been to, maybe 10 high school games, and 7 of them were in Greenville because we've got a local player on our team this year. So it was really just more of showing love to a player that was already committed to us. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's just you can go to an event. The events we go to, there's 20 fields going from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. Or I can go to one high school game where there's one kid I can you might see. So you're seeing thousands on a weekend compared to one at a game. So
interesting, Coach. Thanks for coming in again, man. And I hate the news for you and your girls, the women's soccer team. But again, hopefully games can get into 2021, and let us know about the potential games on Thursdays. If you guys can do that, that'd be interesting, and we'll certainly hype them up here on Pirate Radio.
Yeah, we're going to work with the administration and obviously the state restrictions, make sure we're staying within all those guidelines. But we'd like to do something for their families to be able to watch them, and the community as well.
Have some purple gold games on Thursday nights. That'd be fun. Jason Hamilton joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. We'll take a timeout, come back, talk a little more football with Bryce Williams. I'll tell you what, Shirley, why don't we do it now? Let's open up the booty bag for today. Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Were you into Bubba Sparks, Bryce? back in the day? Do you even know who that is?
I think there was a song that I liked by Bubba Sparks. I've been trying,
but it wasn't the boot. Did he have any other songs other than this one?
There was one. It was called like Deliverance or something, I think.
No. Okay. All right. We'll check that out. All right. Caller 12 317-1250 gets a Captain Special car wash at Pirates Cove Car Wash. 317-1250. If you haven't won this month, you're eligible to win. Call in now. Caller 12. We'll get our winner after this.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
Have you heard the news? Villa Verde is now available for dining in. That's right, both locations of Villa Verde are back open on the inside. And on top of that, the original location on 10th Street has been completely remodeled. But if you prefer curbside or takeout, that is still going strong too. Don't forget the Villa Verde family meal deals are a great way to feed your entire family at an affordable price.
This is Jay from Villa Verde, and we look forward to seeing you at one of our locations soon. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Hey, Pitt County Schools families, the month of August is here and school will certainly be different this year. If you are starting school 100% virtually or are attending school face-to-face on alternating weeks, we are looking forward to resuming the purpose of our system, and that's the education of the children in Pitt County in an excellent and a safe manner. For videos with our leaders, FAQs, and so much more information to answer your questions, visit our Road to Reopening page on our website at pittschools.org or keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember, we'll face this upcoming school year together because we are Pitt County Schools strong.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
When you can take your eye off a big pizza pie, that's familiar.
How does a hot pizza and a six-pack of beer sound right about now? How about if it was only $20? Take advantage of the Familia Saturday and Sunday special of a large one-topping pizza and a six-pack of Pitt Street beer for only $20. Call 689-6330 and then pick it up at the drive-thru window. Need a job? Good news. Familia is now hiring servers, bartenders, and hostesses. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, Wes, Alan, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
CD's Grill in Winterville wants to thank you for all of your support during these crazy times. CD's Grill has the area's best country cooking, and you can come and enjoy a down-home breakfast or one of our daily country lunch specials at CD's Grill.
Hi, this is Lawrence Manning from my entire CD's Grill family. Thank you for all your support. And we invite you and your family and friends to try CD's Grill and taste for yourself the best country cooking around. Promise, CD's Grill.
CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has national certified therapists for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in a state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit kineticptgreenville.com. And as we head back in to Pirate Radio Live, we do have a little bit of a breaking news as of right now. As we mentioned earlier in the show, the Bucks have boycotted their Game 5 with the Orlando Magic, and of course no NBA games scheduled for tonight. They've all been postponed, and now it is moving over into Major League Baseball as the Milwaukee Brewers are currently discussing whether or not they want to play their game that is scheduled against the Cincinnati Reds tonight. We'll keep that on our radar, and we'll let you know if that decision has been made, but they are currently in discussions. Clip.
Hello.
There you go.
Am I on? There we go.
I cut everybody off. Sorry. All right. Thanks for that news update, Shirley. We will follow that. What do we got? We got O's tonight? O's Rays?
Yes, we have O's Rays, and we will join it in progress after our replay of the podcast. We got the F3 podcast coming up after the show. So as soon as that is over, we'll join the Orioles Rays game in progress.
All right. Thank you, Shirley. Congratulations to Sydney Tennell, our winner of a free car wash to Pirates Cove Car Wash, the Captain Special. So Sydney will be enjoying that. Our booty bag theme, of course, is Bubba Sparks, and a couple of Bubba Sparks related news items from the break. First, Chandler told me that at his former place of employment, they used to call him Bubba Sparks.
Yes, that's
right. And I kind of see it. But you're slimming down.
I didn't know how to take that.
Well,
I don't know at the time.
I don't know if it was a compliment, but
I walked into work one day, and his name is Mike, and he is from Yonkers.
Mike.
He is from Yonkers, New York, and he has a strong accent. And so I walk in, he says, "Man, you know who you look like?" I said, "Who's that?" He said, "You look like Bubba Sparks, man." He said,
Bubba Sparks.
He said, "Bubba Sparks."
And Chandler, you're trimming down, slimming down so much, you're not going to look like Bubba. You're looking good, man.
I appreciate
doing
that.
Doing a good job there.
Thank you.
Also, Bryce, I questioned him on a Bubba Sparks song. And he pulled it up, and sure enough, I remember it. It was a hit. The been traveling for some time.
Deliverance is what it was called.
That was a hit back in the day. Bryce liked it because it said, "With my fishing pole and my bottle of shine."
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, that's pretty
I can relate to that."
Yeah, it's talking about country roads and stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good."
It's right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
All right, Bryce. What if I told you the 3 words? What comes to mind when I say "Let's go pee"?
Let's go pee.
Yep.
Well,
of course, I'm talking about Austin Peay. They play football on Saturday.
Oh.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Saturday night, 9 o'clock, ESPN, Austin Peay versus Central Arkansas. They'll be playing a college football game.
Wow.
And I am jacked up.
Well, that is enlightening.
Now you know.
My goodness.
Now you know. If you're watching the TV Saturday night and you holler, "Let's go pee," and your girlfriend looks at you a little crazy, you're just watching a football game. You're excited. Right. I think that's great because if there's going to be a football season, there has to be that first game,
that's
right?
Right.
And that'll be on Saturday night. We also got some news today regarding television schedules, and I'll run over those one more time before we get to ECU football. But you got that game coming up Saturday at 9 o'clock. You've got some more action coming up next Thursday, which Shirley said earlier. We have a kickoff for the Southern Miss game, Shirley, next Thursday. That will be televised next Thursday at 8 o'clock. Central Arkansas UAB will be ESPN3. What about the Southern Miss game?
Southern Miss game, CBS Sports Network.
All right, CBS Sports Network next Thursday, so a couple of viewing options there. A couple of Saturdays from now, you will have Eastern Kentucky versus Marshall. We'll keep an eye on that. You probably still got some Marshall ties, right?
I don't know if I probably don't know
Are you a Pirate, or are you part herd at all? Are you all Pirate?
Pirate.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Forget Marshall. Eastern Kentucky at Marshall, ESPN, 1 o'clock on the 5th. SMU gets the 4:30 time slot against Texas State on ESPN. And then the American triple header, 8 o'clock, Saturday, September 5th. It'll be Arkansas State at Memphis on ESPN. Really looking forward to Monday, September 7th, Bryce. BYU at Navy. It's a pretty good ball game.
That'll be interesting.
ESPN. You played against both of those teams. That game at BYU, it didn't end like we wanted it to, but that was one of the best college football games I'll ever watch.
That was, man, we were on a roll there.
I think it was like a block punt on both sides.
Yeah, I remember us blocking the punt. Man, I remember that. Well, flashback. Yeah, it was.
Bryce is living the moment right now. He can't even talk.
Yeah, it was on the left side to my left, so whatever directional that is, east north, whatever. Yeah, we blocked it, and oh man, I remember that game was back and forth. Is it back and forth?
Blake Kemp had a monster game. I guess you probably had some good stats there.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have a good game there, and yeah, that was fun.
What was that?
That atmosphere was they do it good up there. That was the good atmosphere
with no partying, no tailgating, no drinking.
Yeah, they got after it. That was a really good atmosphere to play in, especially when we were starting to. I can't remember obviously the way the score bounced back and forth or trailing, but when we were starting to catch up, I think they got a little scared. But unfortunately, it ended with a win. But yeah, that was a fun time.
BYU had that quarterback that was there for like 10 years, right?
Well, they had so Taysom Hill was hurt, so they had Tanner Mangum I think was their quarterback.
And one of them, and then they came to Greenville a few years later under Scotty Moe, and he was
Scotty Moe tore him up, boy.
Yes, yeah.
It was a blowout. ECU won. That was one of the few that was.
I was sitting in the double wide in the sky for that game.
The BYU team you played was much better. In fact, they might have still been coached by Bronco Mendenhall, because I think him and Ruff met at midfield before the game and after the game. Then he got the Virginia job and hired Ruff as an assistant coach at Virginia.
That's right.
A year later. So, but I was going to ask, what about the altitude, the elevation? Was that different for you?
I remember being I'd get a splash of water on the sideline and then go out in the huddle and my mouth was already like cotton. I was like, my gosh. I couldn't stay hydrated, couldn't stay with my mouth moist and stuff, and that was hard to swallow at times and stuff. It was.
What about like shortness of breath or anything, or was that all right?
I don't recall any of that, but definitely just the dryness. I was like, my goodness, I need a little camel pack under my shoulder pads.
Bryce, what about the starting and stopping here we've seen this offseason? ECU currently in a pause. I jinxed it last week when I said, Bryce, we're going to have these Mike Houston cuts to run every Wednesday, man, and we're going to talk football. And then they paused it, of course. Hopefully they'll be back soon. But what does that do to a player? I mean, can you stay in rhythm?
I was about to say rhythm and just staying fluid and everything and keeping just, I guess rhythm is the biggest question here. You are having these great practices put together, and then bam, you're out for a few. Because once you get in the routine of practice, your mind's right. You're like, practice. Because your day off, coming back, you're kind of like, all right, let's get back in it and stuff. But to have them stop, my goodness, because that would just drive me crazy. And I think, going to affect the players, maybe not, but I know I would be just all messed up and everything. So, and then the same with the coaches. It's crazy.
Yeah, and people have been, sending me messages like, looks like they're doing some kind of voluntary activity out there, no practice. So guys are still trying to remain active.
Right,
as much
and that's
as they can.
good. They're taking initiative.
Yeah.
I mean, that is very good that they're doing that. But you can't beat. It's good, but you can't replace the whole team. Been out there, the coaches, everybody, learning to play. Just the whole shebang. You can't replace it.
How much time did you try to spend with Shane Carden and Blake Kemp and James Summers so they throw you the ball on Saturdays?
Yeah, I mean, we spent like the summer. I was at every 7-on-7 and everything like that. And I think because we loved it and we wanted to prepare and compete and stuff. So I mean, every 7-on-7 from time I came to ECU, till the time I left, I was there and stuff. So I'd like to say I spent a lot of time.
We got Brandon Sneed joining Igo and I on the show tomorrow. Brandon is wrote a biography about Lincoln Riley, and part of it, of course, is his time at ECU. What do you remember about the Wonder Boy, Lincoln Riley? He was about your age when he coached you. It was unbelievable that he's accomplished so much at such a young age. But what kind of stood out to you about Lincoln Riley? What do you remember the most about him being your coach?
I guess definitely his creativity. The way he was able to utilize me. I mean, I would have never thought I'd be in the backfield doing all these certain things as a tight end. So definitely him able to utilize me in different forms. His play calling. I was very fortunate. I mean, he set me up for a lot of great plays that I was able to make throughout my career, touchdowns and things like that. So I'm definitely thankful for him. Thankful to him for that. And
that's a good point. Coaches make players look good, just like players make coaches look good, right?
I mean, I could have. Well, I won't say it, but it's about my senior year. But I mean, he did a lot for me when he was there.
Well, speaking of your senior year. And here's me as an outsider. I think ECU was in a pretty terrible position with Benkert going down. Mm-hmm. Blake Kemp was not expected to be the starter. Yeah. James Summers, was he a wide receiver, running back, or quarterback? They had him going everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of set up to fail. But, why didn't it work with Dave Nickel as offensive coordinator?
I guess just totally. I guess Nichols is typically a position coach, and I guess being OC, I don't know. Maybe it was overwhelming for him. I don't know. First year as an OC, I guess can do that to you.
Yeah.
And, to have Coach Riley there for 3 years, he's obviously been in the saddle, knows the deal, knows his players, how to utilize them better. I think that would have helped me a lot in my senior year and everything like that. And then, of course, the flip-flop for Blake Kemp and James Summers at quarterback. I mean, my goodness, how can either, as one of the other the guys who receive the footballs, as you're like, okay, like, what's going on? How can I get in a rhythm with this guy? And then you got on for James and Blake. It's like, okay, you're going to play me for 3 drives and take me out for 2 drives. It's like, let me get in rhythm and sync. I mean, that's a big part of performance is being in rhythm, being in the zone, and when you're constantly start-stop, like, it just can throw a player off.
You think about it, you had at least 2 straight years where it was Riley coaching and Carden in every game starting, and then you go to 2 different quarterbacks, a new offensive coordinator, and then just it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it was tough on you guys.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, we had the same plays, but it just was, I think certain people weren't utilized at the time they should have been. Well, I'll say that. So,
okay, interesting. All right,
that's my
okay. Certain people. Okay, I thought back to when you were talking there about Riley setting you up to make plays and utilizing you. I had a great chat with Willie Smith, former ECU tackle, on the Zoom room yesterday, where your name was brought up. We were talking because Willie was a guy that played for the Redskins, played for the Raiders, was in a camp with the Chargers, might have played a little bit, was in a camp with the Panthers, never played. So he was kind of bouncing around and was talking about how important preseason was for him, like you've mentioned.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
But he came to ECU before he was a NFL left tackle. He came to ECU as a defensive player. And I said, Willie, how'd you get to the offensive side of the ball? And he said, they tricked me. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, they have, my frame, I was kind of skinny. They had me at tight end. And, I was like, all right, I was kind of excited about it. And he said, the more we kept practicing and the more plays they kept running, he was like, man, I'm blocking every play. I'm not going out for a pass. I'm not catching a ball. He was like, they tricked me. And he turned out to be a great tackle at ECU and an NFL player. But that was kind of funny the way he described it, where he was kind of looking around like, why am I not going out for a pass? Luckily, Bryce, you were able to make those plays that we all got to see.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think I couldn't have gained the weight that needed to be done at tackle. I'm glad I didn't get tricked. I just was able to get the opportunity to, like I said, by grateful Marshall that they said, Coach Riley said, can you play tight end? And of course I'm like, yeah, even though I've been a receiver for all high school and didn't think I'd ever get to the weight I ever got to. So
What was that like for you? Like, some guys' frames, Like, just, you can't really change them much. But how much did you grow physically?
Oh, goodness. I mean, and
what did you have to do to grow to do that?
Right. So, high school, I was senior year is 190. I still was able to play and was strong, but, the size, I'm like, dang, I'm going to get bigger. But I was thinking I'm a receiver. When I got to Marshall, I came in at 190 as a tight end. All the other guys, at least, were 220. My roommate was 240. I'm like, what the heck? And of course, I was like, we were just eating like crazy. I don't even want to know how many calories I would put on, eat during the day.
Like, not even enjoying what you're eating. You're just doing it.
Sometimes I would just eat, and that last bite was a struggle and everything. And then when I got to ECU after the season 2012, I was like 225 just to make it an even number. And I was like, man, I got to play tight end. Like, I got to get big, shoot. Well, that following winter, we was about 5 weeks. And on top of taking, supplements and everything, but I would set an alarm every day, every night, between 1:30 and 2 a.m. Every night, wake up, have a peanut butter sandwich and milk, go back to sleep, wake up at, I think it was 5:30, go to the workouts, and drink those protein shakes. And I was able to gain, I guess, 15 pounds in that winter. So
that's crazy. So many people are guilty of having the midnight snack when they know they shouldn't. Yeah. And you were forcing yourself to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, God, I don't want to eat this peanut butter sandwich, but I got to.
Yeah, peanut butter was hilarious. A big thing. I remember, especially in my senior year, I would have Anna, she would, I have a jar of peanut butter, and before bed, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is 190 calories and like 9 grams of protein. I've stared at that label plenty of times, and I'd say, Anna, just count for me. So I'd get a scoop of peanut butter, put it in my mouth, take a swig of water, and it goes down like Jello. It's weird. So it's not that sticky thing. So I'd have her count to 10.
Doing your reps, right?
I would do 10. I would do at least. I do around 10 at the max scoops of peanut butter.
I need 10 sets of 10 right now, Bryce. Peanut butter.
So, are they going to start having that at the combine now?
Yeah,
right. Can you bulk up? Can you eat peanut butter?
Yeah, after you do the bench press, then you have to do the peanut butter reps.
Exactly. Yeah, how fast can you do the jar? And it's I would have never suspected I would be 260 at one time. But now my playing weight was 250 to my rookie year in the NFL was high 250s.
Yeah,
maintaining 260 was too hard. And now I just kind of eat normal and everything, and I'm still in the 240, 245 range, which, is perfectly fine with me.
It's jarring sometimes, especially these offensive linemen, when they're away from football and then they get a TV gig and you see them and they just shrink. It's almost, it looks like they're sick or something.
Oh, yeah, I know. I weigh, me, JT, and CJ, I think all weigh like the same now.
Yeah, and they were bigger dudes than you were.
They were 300 guys, 300-pound guys.
All right, let's take our final timeout. We'll come back. We'll get, before we get out of here, a Pirate Radio Outdoors update with Bryce Williams when we return after this.
This is Dr. Elizabeth Robinson with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our extended care clinic is open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard. We treat a variety of urgent orthopedic conditions without an appointment. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at www.orthoeast.com.
The dog days of summer are here. The Humane Society of Eastern Carolina is excited to be partnered with Pirate Radio and Pitt Printing to make Greenville greater than ever. This is Shelby from the Humane Society of Eastern Carolina, and if you're headed to the beach, the river, or the pool, then stop by and see us to pick up a t-shirt and 2 koozies for only $20. Help rescue pets here in Pitt County and make Greenville greater than ever by getting your shirt and koozies at the Humane Society of Eastern Carolina or Pitt Printing today.
This is Sam Jones inviting you to join us for lunch, dinner, or takeout at Sam Jones Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out fresh food cooked over wood every single day. That's our Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue, slow-cooked chicken, smoked turkey, and spare ribs. There are no freezers here. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I'll bet you'll be able to taste the difference in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium, 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again.
2 item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Have you heard the news? Villa Verde is now available for dining in. That's right, both locations of Villa Verde are back open on the inside. And on top of that, the original location on 10th Street has been completely remodeled. But if you prefer curbside or takeout, that is still going strong too. Don't forget the Villa Verde family meal deals are a great way to feed your entire family at an affordable price.
This is Jay from Villa Verde, and we look forward to seeing you at one of our locations soon. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Summertime is here with hot temperatures, thunderstorms, and hurricanes. It's easy to recognize pests invading your home, but a lot of people forget about moisture destroying your home's crawl space. Pest Tech is celebrating its 20th year protecting your homes using dehumidifiers, professional-grade liners, and most importantly, our licensed and highly trained technicians. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com for a free estimate on moisture control and the other silent destroyer, termites. Trust your home to the best. Pest Tech of Greenville, your East Coast exterminating professionals.
Hey, this is Chef Dave Finelli. Have you got $60 extra a week or you just got $60 a week? I can feed you dinner 6 nights a week for total $60. Maybe you haven't heard about this, my Heart Healthy Home Meals. I give you 6 meals a week, you pick them up at Pops, it's $60 a week. I guarantee you go out to eat one time, you spend more than $60. I guarantee you if you go to the grocery store one time, you spend more than $60. And then you still got to tip, and then you still got to cook and prep and worry. Forget all that. I got you. $60 a week. Let me know. I'm right there at Pops. You know how to reach me.
Pirate Radio.
It's important to me that we're able to connect the past, the tradition of East Carolina football, our current roster, and the future of what this program is going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by the Auto Store Group. Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, Pirate fans, if you're hungry for the best ECU news and information, then you need to be part of the Pirate Radio digital platforms. Keep up with the latest breaking news and information by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter and Instagram at PR927FM. Listen live and to all of our archive programming anytime by visiting PR927FM.com. Stay connected beyond your radio dial with all of the Pirate Radio digital platforms. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, I enjoyed story time with Bryce Williams today. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce putting on weight, doing peanut butter reps.
Yeah.
We are all guilty of doing those now. Bryce was trying to help himself out, and we do it to our detriment, but that was interesting. I tell you what, we got a couple minutes left. Let's get in our Pirate Radio Outdoors segment with Bryce Williams. Bryce, what's been going on the water or in the forest lately?
Nothing in the woods yet. But me and Anna were able to go fishing. I went to my fishing buddies first. He goes, hey, how y'all can go fishing? Well, none of them could do it. Anna's like, I'll go fishing with you. I said, well, we wake up at 4:25. So she said, oh, but hey, she was a trooper.
What a trooper.
Yes, she got up with me, and we went out, we put in Campbell's Creek, and some fishing the Pamlico and everything, and it was a good time. It was a little slow to start, so she kind of just enjoyed the scenery and put it on her phone. We were able to catch some flounder, small little puppy drum stuff, so we did not get skunked. So that is a goal. So I'm grateful that I was able to at least catch some fish.
What'd you catch? Did you say? I'm sorry.
Some flounder and just a little puppy drum.
Okay, puppy drum.
But it was funny. So we also, Anna she was on her phone hanging out, and she's been talking about a dog. Wanting another dog for our buddy Grady. Well, wouldn't you know it? She's on her phone. Something just told her, I guess, to get online, and she finds another golden doodle, and so now we have 2 golden doodles.
All right, a
Grady
new addition to the family.
Yep, Grady and Sonny. So they're best buddies now, and and it's so funny on the big decisions. I'm always kind of, I don't think we should. Well, and like I debate with her, and she tends to be always right.
She's spontaneous right away,
and she thinks them through. She thinks all the decisions through, and she's been right with all the big ones. So
all right, good.
I gotta give that to her.
Good stuff, Bryce. Thanks for hanging out, man. Always enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Next week, Bryce, we're gonna have a long sheet of Mike Houston cuts after practice. All right.
I want to hear Coach Houston.
That's what we're gonna do next week. If not, more Bryce Williams eating peanut butter stories. They're coming your way. Shirley, great job. Chandler, awesome work.
See y'all later.
We will talk to you Thursday, 3 o'clock, for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of